Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you for joining us today on another crazy episode of Crime and Sports. This is episode 386, I think.
My God.
And they're not getting any less crazy. I will say that.
No.
We've had a lot of murder lately, and this one, I think it might be worse. This is this is one of our worst people. We're going to do a Scummies, by the way, because people have been asking about the Scummies, and we didn't do one this year.
We missed it.
We're going to do a Scummies in January, and it's going to be very difficult. Scumbag of the year this year, we're going to have to open up. It can't be 5 people. It's going to be like 8 people, and it's going to be a bunch of the worst. I don't even know how we're going to parse it. I have no idea how we're going to pick Scumbag of the year this year. It's going to be very difficult. It'd be like a best picture where it's like The Godfather and Casablanca and like you name all these pictures from time and you're putting them in here. This is the level of scum we've dealt with in the last year. It's awesome. So we'll get to that, though, quickly. Before we do get to that, shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all the stuff, your merch, your tickets for stuff. Dates are going to be announced this week for the next year's Small Town Murder Tour.
It's going to be great.
That's going to be fun. Live shows, amazing. By the way, if you were at the Dallas show for Small Town Murder last week, incredible. Thank you guys so much. Texas, you were wonderful to us. So thank you for the hospitality. Really? Amazing people there. So thank you for all of that. You certainly want Patreon. That's the thing you need to get here. I'm telling you, if you like the shows, you definitely want to get the bonus stuff because it's pretty unhinged shit. So get in there. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. It couldn't be more simple. You were going to get, for $5 a month or above, you're going to get everything. You get a whole back catalog, couple hundred episodes to binge, new episodes every other week. This week, no different. For Crime and Sports, we're going to do more theme park disasters.
Great.
It's been a few months, and, man, people have been asking for it. So you get them back, more theme park disasters. And then for Small Town Murder, the incredibly weird twin flames thing that's going on. This strange dating service / alleged cult weird shit.
/ religion?
Sort of. It's weird.
Yeah.
It is a religion. They turned it into a religion because they didn't want to pay taxes, and it's insane. You have to see it. There's 2 different documentaries. I think one's Netflix, one's Amazon. Doesn't matter. It's all crazy. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. Plus, Jimmie will certainly mispronounce your name at the end of the show, giving you a shout-out, even though he wholeheartedly would love to get it correct. It's not possible, everybody. He's trying his best.
I don't know how to read.
He's trying, though. That's the important part, and he's getting better, so that's good. So there we go. That said, let's get it on with our lunatic of the week here. Okay, not a famous person at all.
No?
And some people go, I don't know the famous people. I only listen to the ones I know. Well, you know what?
Well, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, that's another thing I got to say right off the top. Some people are like, I never heard of this guy. This guy had one crime. Yeah, he killed a guy sometimes. It's like, what more do you want from the...
When he starts with murder, doesn't that blow your... I'd love to live in your world where that doesn't fucking shock you.
Someone that was a famous, beloved professional athlete then murders a person, and that's not like that's not crazy enough for you.
That's not incredible to you?
That's wild to me, personally. And it's like, we can't go like frame Tom Brady for a bunch of crimes, so it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like, we can't. It's like we can't take LeBron and like, you know, plant his DNA places to say he was a serial rapist or something.
Wait for some of those hairs to fall out.
I was going to say,
and we might be able to do it.
He's going to leave a trail behind him. We can probably plant them wherever. But some people, that's what they want. But I'm telling you, it's a comedy show, and the people you've never heard of, a lot of times, are the funniest things you can hear of. Because
certainly, to me, the best story.
They're all new information also. You know what I mean? Like, that blew my mind. Like, Chris Benoit was one of our most popular episodes ever. And I'm like, you all know the story already.
You've heard this.
You've heard it already. Stop. And I'm like, stop listening to our show. No, don't stop listening to our show. What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, let's get to this guy because he sucks. All right.
Yeah.
Christopher Rawlins, Raulins is his middle name.
Really?
We've never had that in 386 episodes. Rawlins.
Raulins.
Nelloms is his last name. Nelloms. He's a track and field guy.
Oh, okay.
And that's why you've never heard of him. You've never heard of him. Unless you've heard of him for crime, you've probably never heard of him. It's one of those things. If you read about his crime, you went, oh, I know this guy, and he is horrible. So he is born August 14th, 1971. Ohio. He's from Ohio. He ends up going
somewhere in Ohio.
Somewhere in Ohio. Who knows? There's Ohio. It's nameless. We all know that.
Let's give him Dayton. Whatever.
I was just going to say Dayton is where he went to high school. Anyway.
Oh, well, it's probably Dayton.
It's probably Dayton. Who moves to Dayton?
Or just outside. Yeah, nobody goes to Dayton.
No one moves to. He started here.
I heard Dayton's got a better high school. We should probably just go there.
We packed up and came to Dayton, and things have been great since then. You don't hear that often.
No.
People in Dayton, how often do you hear that from people? We moved here recently, and boy, I'll tell you, life has really turned around for us. I don't think it happened.
Metropolis.
Yeah, so anyway,
Dayton.
Now that we've picked on Dayton enough, his father wasn't around ever. He doesn't take his father's name or anything like that. His father's name's James Smith, and he seems to be, in crime and sports, we often say, is it better for the father to, take off right away, never be around, or stick around and beat the living shit out of anybody within arm's reach? This is category A. Dad was just never around. Seems like a sperm donor type of deal here.
I think that was Eminem's name in 8 Mile in the movie.
You think
Jimmy Smith, wasn't
James Smith, I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Him, several NFL players. There's a lot of Jimmy Smiths out there.
I think that's true, though.
There's also Jimmy Smiths you could confuse him for.
Right, yeah.
Rick Smiths, all sorts of.
There we go.
There we
Close
go.
enough.
So here we go here. His mother's name is Gloria Nelloms, and she's a character. We'll talk all about her, too, later. Oh, yeah, she's fun. Oh, Jesus. He's got a nephew named Rich that comes up as well, Rich Nelloms here. Now, Chris Nelloms, he goes by. He went to Dunbar High School in Dayton and set a bunch of high school records. He's very good at track and field. He does sprinting and hurdling. And he competes in the sprints and hurdles in high school and has a national high school record of 13.30 seconds for the 110-meter hurdles in 1990.
He did 110 meters jumping over shit in
13.3 seconds.
Holy fuck.
That's why that's a national high school record, because that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Doesn't sound like
jumping over shit.
Doesn't sound like you could make it much faster than that, right? No. Jumping over shit, I'd really have to concentrate on it. I don't want to trip over this shit I'm jumping over and fall on my face.
People run 40 in just a little faster.
40, in 4 seconds. But you have to start from scratch from there. So
this is jumping over shit.
Jumping over shit, I would think some of these guys, when they're jumping over shit, they don't even slow down though.
Right.
They're fucking
just in stride.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they just
how do you do
they run,
that?
and then like they have this giant stride where they do like leap over this thing and they keep running. It's so looks like your hips.
And their body doesn't even move. It doesn't look like their body moves in height. Their legs just move. Their legs just move out super
They just go. So I mean, run, and then they do that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing, everybody out there.
I
do it with your hands.
That's the thing that they do.
Run, and then it's like that. So,
crazy.
Yeah, he is Track and Field News, which I didn't know was a publication, but apparently it's a big deal. Neither of us ever ran anywhere for not on
There's
purpose.
6 kids at each high school that read it.
Yeah, we didn't run on purpose anywhere. So
no.
I remember driving like after school, and you'd see the track and field, like the cross country kids running like a mile and a half from school, a big line of them.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you people doing? Like, I remember thinking, why are you doing that? Looks like you're being
coach is always out front.
Yeah, looks like you're being sentenced to that. Like, there's like if they ran past a prison work crew, I think they'd be jealous of the work crew. At least they have to stand there and pick up garbage. It's easier than running 20 miles. I'd rather be in prison than do this.
Yeah. Only time I ever ran in high school is when I heard something menacing. And, you know, like whether it was a police siren or somebody saying,
sirens
there they are.
Would be, that would be the running thing. Uh-oh. Then I'm going to get arrested for having drugs on me. Run. Run. So he's Track and Field News' High School Athlete of the Year in 1990.
Wow.
So
Dunbar is fucking famous. I don't know why, but that school is famous for turning out athletes.
We've had it come up a couple of times.
Have we?
Yes, we've had it come up on this show a couple of times. I could not tell you with who, but definitely.
From somebody in Dayton.
Somebody, there's been a few people. Ohio's a hotbed for
it is.
This for sports. It really is. I mean, it's like
Mm-hmm.
like the Florida or California of the Midwest when it comes to sports.
Is.
So many people come from there. Sports. Look at how Ohio's not a huge state. Look how many fucking sports teams they have. A ton of them. They have so many teams. I mean,
but it feels so far from
colleges.
Cleveland to Cincy to Columbus.
They all have their own shit.
It seems so vast, and it's not even that big of a place.
It's just Grandpa Gus's cheese barn in between them. That's all it's there. That's right. That's what we discovered. Between Columbus and Cleveland, there's literally Grandpa Gus's cheese barn, and that's it. There's nothing else.
That's it.
Nothing else there. We know because we tried to find another bathroom because, as you might imagine, the cheese barn bathroom has been afflicted.
Obliterated.
You smell cheese shits from 30 feet, I swear to God. And it's indoors.
Crazy.
It's indoors, and you're like, whoa.
And these people just got here, too.
Yeah.
It's not like, why do you have cheese shits already? You just got here.
They got there, ate a half a block of cheese, and then blew out the McDonald's and that half a block of cheese all over that
right
shit.
There.
Road food, everything. So May 2nd, this is from May 2nd, 1987, so before he's a high school athlete of the year and everything. When he was a freshman, he was ineligible to compete after he switched schools here. Apparently, there was a Dayton Public Schools. They made the decision that Chris was temporarily ineligible to run track at the high school level. So it took him out of some big meet that he was supposed to be in, and it was a big deal. It's in the newspaper that some freshman kid isn't allowed to run. So it was a big deal, actually.
Yeah.
They said freshmen are eligible to participate in high school athletics in Ohio. It's up to the school district to determine whether they play at the junior high or high school level. So the policy in Dayton in the past has been to keep freshmen at the junior high level. But this guy's like an all-world fucking talent. Like there's exceptions.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Sidney Crosby he was in the NHL when he was like 17 years old for a reason. He's fucking good, or 18 or whatever the fuck he was. Anyway, so he is a national age group champion in the 100, 200, and 400 meters. So he dominates his age group. That's
in anything he does.
Yeah, he needs to be in a bigger age group to compete because he's crushing these people. He felt he needed to run at the high school level to find adequate competition. It's like I'm killing an 8th grader. I'm crushing him. This is ridiculous.
Let's give somebody else a chance to win over there.
Yeah, that too. And it's no fun to just beat these kids, fucking lap these kids. Everything he ran, he sets the record for. So permission was granted for him to run for Meadowdale while he was attending Fairport Intermediate School. He won the 200 meters at a high school event.
Wow.
He ran it in 200 meter at the Mansfield Relays in 21.9 seconds, which sounds like a lot. It sounds fast. It was the 4th fastest time in the state that year. And then he switched intermediate schools, going from one to another, Fairport to Stivers. And Stivers is a feeder for Dunbar. I think Dunbar is like an athletic powerhouse.
It sounds
That's
like
why we've heard of it before, because we cover, professional athletes and, big-time athletes, so they probably went there. Chris said this: I received an eligibility sheet from Dunbar for the Roosevelt meet on Wednesday, which had Chris Nelloms' name on it. That's the athletic director for the schools. I informed Dr. James Williams, the assistant principal, of the situation. He called a meeting for the Board of Control, and they made the decision that Chris will not be able to compete because he's switching schools.
Huh.
I don't know. So that they're not going to let him do that. Now, his mom is pissed off, though.
Oh, I would be too.
Yeah. They said basically what everyone was saying was that the Nelloms family was enticed to switch schools so Chris could run at Dunbar, which has a stronger program.
Yeah.
And now this happened. So his mother, Gloria, said, quote, "Let me clear this up once and for all." So she's setting the record straight here.
Mama Nelloms has some shit to say.
She's got some shit to say. I've heard all that talk about Dunbar recruiting Chris. There's nothing to it. I didn't talk to anyone from Dunbar or Meadowdale or any other school about him running, and no one from those schools talked to me. I moved last week for personal reasons. The house I moved in is in the Stivers district. Stivers students will go to Dunbar. I don't see why a student can't participate for the school in their district. I'm very upset about the whole thing, and I don't know what actions I'm going to take. So she said, no, there wasn't a recruiting thing, because that's what you have to say publicly back then. So
yeah. Moved somewhere, yeah.
But
what actions can she take? Is she capable?
You could sue some. You could, take it to court.
Yeah.
That's something because there's like an injunction. You could get rid of that. I don't know. So I guess the Dunbar track coach said, Tom told me he was at Stivers and we decided to put his name on our eligibility list. We keep doing it in each meet until the matter is settled. I'll tell you right now, and anyone else who wants to know, that I never tampered with a kid, and no one else connected with Dunbar did. No She moved for personal reasons. Just happened to move into the district that will send him to the powerhouse athletic high school.
That will help me tremendously. Has nothing to do with that.
Just a huge coincidence. That's fucking hilarious. I love that.
And he runs fast as hell while jumping over shit, so put him on the tee.
He moved all my shit in an hour. He just ran it to my new house. He was jumping over cars. It was awesome.
We need him.
That's it. Yeah, this coach said whatever decision they made to move and where they decided to move, they made it on their own. Just a coincidence. Nothing to see here.
Just a coincidence he's moving to a place that's a feeder school for one of the most popular places for athletics in Ohio.
No shit. No shit, man. So, oh, God, that's fucking hilarious. He is the winner in 1987 of local fitness champs. This is weird. There's 8 local winners of a national fitness campaign challenge, and they went to North Carolina to help that state kick off its participation in the challenge. And he was one of the people. He's the state champ in the 400-meter at that point in 87 already.
Yeah.
So eventually he gets to do that. And he won the Boys High School Fitness Challenge in this area.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they said, this is his mom. They in North Carolina mentioned I won the state 400. That's what Chris said. I felt good knowing all the kids were looking up to me. Yeah. Felt good. Yeah.
Probably does feel good.
Yeah, that's a terrible line for later, though. Remember the line, I felt good knowing all the kids were looking up to me later on.
Oh, God damn it.
June 5th, 1988 here.
Yeah.
He won 3 events and qualified for the U.S. Olympic trials in leading Dunbar to the Class AAA Boys Championship on Saturday.
Okay.
Crushing it.
It's a 3A. Dunbar's a 3A?
A 3A, yeah, I guess.
Huh,
so,
okay.
and that, I don't know. Yeah. What, 5A is the big one? We've gone over this before. I don't know.
It's 6A
There's
now.
6 now.
There may be 7A, but there's at least 6.
Yeah, there's 6. That's true. Somebody
it's just
corrected
based on
us
population.
last time. You were right. They were right. So, they said that he's only a sophomore, and he's already leading them to state titles. He won the 100, 200, and 400-meter dashes, and he ran the anchor on their second-place 1,600-meter relay team.
Wow.
Just crushing it, basically. He's doing awesome. His time of 45.80 seconds in the 400 set a meet record, but also qualified him for the U.S. Olympic trials.
Wow.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
15.
Wow.
God, imagine having that much, confidence in your physicality at 15 where you're like, I'm going to the Olympic trials.
But, in high school,
Good Lord.
Kids don't recognize how big of a fucking deal that is because you're competing on a world stage against the world's best.
Yeah.
And I went to high school with a fucking Olympic athlete. She went and swam in Australia for Sydney's Olympics in, what was that, 2000, I guess? When I was in high school, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like people weren't.
They weren't.
People were impressed that she was swimming the Olympics, but they didn't. It wasn't near as fucking cool as. There's a guy. Yeah. Also, a guy 2 years ago just got drafted in the NBA. That's different. Everybody thought that was so much cooler.
Because that's on TV.
Yeah, that's what it is, I think.
Kids aren't like, awesome, when I'm watching this swimming event in the Olympics next time, I'll look out for you. Like, kids don't watch the fucking...
Also, there's a little more money in the NBA than in
That's the other thing.
Olympic
He's going to be
swimming.
rich, and it's like, this guy, what are you going to do?
Yeah. It was a gal, Misty.
Oh, wow. You're gonna teach swimming probably after this.
Probably. You know what? That's exactly what she does.
That's it. You can charge 50% more than anybody else because you were in the Olympics, and that's it.
Right.
And people go, my daughter's taught by an Olympic fucking swimmer, blah, 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 and that's what it is.
Crazy.
Crusty fucking people. So he said, it's been my goal all year. About halfway through the race, I could feel it was going to be close. I let those other guys, Rodney Moore and Robert Smith, pull the first 200 meters. Then I jumped it at the 200-meter mark. He's like a horse.
That means, but that sounds awesome. Yeah.
He's like a horse. He let the other, like a jockey, letting the other fucking horses
tire out,
and then he burns it in the last 200. Interesting. Yeah. So they said he won't be 17 until August. He's only 16. And he said, I'm just happy to qualify for the trials. That means more to me than the state title. I'm going to go to the trials and do my best. Yeah, you don't care about, I would think you care about going to the Olympics. So he said they said no other high school athlete qualified for the Olympic trial meet. Wow, he's the only one. Yeah. He said he was astonished to win the 100. He said, I was surprised to win the 100. I would have been satisfied to finish third. Apparently he's faster than he fucking thinks here. He's really good. He swept the sprint events in the big high school division, taking the 100-meter dash in 10.71 seconds.
Jesus.
That's fucking fast. That's fast.
My, how long?
10.71 for the 100-meter dash.
If you have any skills in catching,
you're a punt returner.
Jesus Christ.
You're going to be the badass punt
returner.
Yeah, that's so fucking fast. Yeah, learn how to catch a football, please, for the love of God.
Unbelievable.
The 200, he did it in 21.04 seconds. Mm-hmm. So just an extra fucking 10 seconds and change you needed for another fucking 100 yards, 100 meters.
Oh, my God.
And the 400 in a meet record 45.80 seconds.
40. Holy shit, man.
That beat the Olympic trials qualifying time of 45.82. And so he's crushing shit, basically, is what he's doing. He's just destroying shit. There's a bunch of info about his times, but I don't know anything about this stuff. So I don't know. I know that the 100 and 200, I can figure out what's fast out of that just by the NFL.
Yeah.
If a guy runs a 4.240, he's holy shit fast.
Also, these are sprints. You know what I mean? Like watching somebody run a marathon and then they give you the hours it took them. And I'm like, I don't give a shit.
No,
that seems
like NASCAR. It's like, I don't care that you're going 200 miles an hour. It looks like you're all slowly fucking drifting around this track because you're all going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Put some traffic in there.
And you're doing 500 miles of this. Like running 400 meters. That's a quarter of a mile about?
Yeah.
Or a little under. That is so fast to do that in 40 seconds.
They should do that in those track meets too, like the relay stuff. Put like 3 fat guys out there who are not fast at all, so we could see like NASCAR. I want like a Hyundai Elantra in there and like a fucking like one of those Honda Fits that can't go very fast. Just fucking things up, so you got to get around them. That way, I can see how fast these people are going. It's going to be impressive.
Yeah, if you got a 4-person relay, one of them has to be fat and slow.
Yeah, they don't even have to be competing. They just have to be like running along with them too, like a fat team, just to go look how much faster they are than regular people. Just a regular schlub in there, just like.
This is the Olympic pace guy.
Yeah, that's what I want. But like a whole team.
Fred Newman.
So you can see
Long Island.
Yeah, then you can see, wow, those people are fucking super fast. You know what I mean? And they talk to Frank ahead of time, and he's not, he doesn't have health problems or anything. He's just a normal guy, with a job.
Just a fat guy.
And he's
just a guy that does work.
Holy shit, does he get run by? Just lapped over. He's like, Jesus Christ. I heard wind go by, and this dude passed me. That's how you show impressiveness.
I got gravel in my eye off his fucking Asics, for Christ's sake.
You need context. Context is king.
Yeah.
I need to know.
It really is.
How fast is this? It doesn't look fast. They're all running that fast. How fast could it be?
There was a woman that ran an Olympic race that didn't qualify, but for whatever reason got into the starting blocks, and I think she was arrested for it because that's fucking...
Because that sounds illegal.
Super illegal. Because you could do anything to any of those athletes.
Yeah, we could do that at that, but if you didn't qualify, you're just as not in the Olympics as we are at that point. Just because you tried out doesn't mean... anything.
But she ran it like they did, and she gave it her all, but holy shit, was she back there.
That's what I mean. That's what I want.
Yeah, I want to see who comes in last and how far back would I finish if I was half a fucking...
Horse races, too. Put an old horse out there, just on the outside. Just fucking,
or a pony.
A pony.
Or a baby.
Yeah, or two people in a horse outfit. I don't give a shit. Just make it look how impressive
newborn deer with wobbly legs.
Yeah,
put one of those out there.
That'd be great. Why not? So, holy shit. June 14th, 1988, Mom here, Gloria, is the president of the Dunbar Parent-Teacher Organization now.
Oh, she's had enough.
So
she's getting involved.
Keep that in mind later, by the way, here. Okay.
Okay.
So there's a big article about how people like Nelloms, when they go different places, it affects schools a lot because then it affects where coaches go. It affects all this type of shit because there's a bunch of coaching staffs at this point switching all around at these different high schools. Now, Gloria Nelloms, the president of the organization, said parents, they said, are upset with, people switching, coaches switching.
Sure.
Because a lot of these, they can say they don't recruit kids or tamper, but they do. Mm-hmm. And it's like these college coaches, even in big-time college football, they recruit all these players, and then they quit and take another job.
Yeah.
And now these kids have to transfer if they don't like the new coach, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. At least they've made it so kids don't have to fucking sit out a year anymore like they used to. That was horseshit.
My poor kid got cut from, it's high school, but he got cut because the coach is recruiting. Because the coach went and recruited. So it's fucking unbelievable.
That's what they do. They want to win rather than just, kind of make the kids they have better. That's what should kind of be the point.
That's right. You're building school pride with these kids are getting better. And what if they fucking win this year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The kids that live within these boundaries, you take the best of those and make them as good as you can. That's what I thought high school sports was.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Unless it's like IMG Academy or something where people are literally moving from other parts of the country because
this is a fucking public school. This is stupid.
A funnel to big time college sports. It's not that. So, I don't know. July 17th, 1988 here. Chris doesn't run the trials in the Olympics for some reason here. Yeah, not running. Did not start is what he got, a DNS apparently. Yeah. He just completed his sophomore year. And I don't know what the story is here. They said this is the Trotwood here. He coaches the Northwest. He's from Trotwood. Sorry, his name isn't Trotwood. Although I'd like his name to be Trotwood.
It's a good name.
That's a good name. Harold Lefty Martin. This guy's name is of Trotwood. That's where he lives. He coaches the Northwest track team for which Nelloms chose to run over the summer, and he said that the last time I talked to Chris was a week and a half ago. He hadn't been to practice for a week and hasn't talked to me at work or at home. I tried contacting him and his mother at home, but never got an answer. All the paperwork was set up. He was in. All he needed to do was show up and run. He didn't show up for the fucking U.S. Olympic trials that he made.
But why?
That's crazy. His mom did an interview and said that he pulled his hamstring at the Athletics Congress Junior Nationals on June 22nd in Florida. She said he's just been doing light training, but the injury's bothering him, and it prevented him from running. It might prevent him from running in the trials, is what she said before that. So he's tentatively scheduled to run for the U.S. Junior National Team, is what this is. to say junior U.S. national, but it's U.S. junior national team in a 15-team tournament in Columbus. Sounds very exciting. Very, very exciting. So July 22nd or 27th to the 31st, 1988, in Sudbury, Canada, he is he comes in first in the 4x400 meter relay. Here, June 23rd to 25th, 1989, the Pan American Junior Championships in Argentina.
Oh, boy.
He's first in the 400 meter, first in the 4x100 relay, and first in the 4x400 relay as well. So, 1989, that is Pan American Junior Athletics Championships. He had a triple gold medal, 3 golds.
Awesome.
Not bad at all.
4x400, is that all 4 of them run 400?
I think it's, yes.
Each one runs 100.
I think all of them run. They're 4x100 is all of them run 100. This is 4 400s, which
unbelievable.
He won the 400 on his own, so we know he's pretty good at that one.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
So, April 25th, 1990, there's a big fluff piece on him here. Oh, yeah. It's about him and his mom, actually. And it says,
Mom gets a mention, too?
Oh, no, mom is front and center through all of this. Which is
fuck?
Going to be hilarious in a little while when she fucks up. So, it says, Nelloms keeps his feet on the ground when it comes to life, is the article here, the headline. And it said that the country's major sports writers are familiar with the name of Dunbar senior Chris Nelloms, highly touted as a pace setter for track in the 1990s. Nelloms, who recently signed a letter of intent to attend Ohio State University on a full scholarship. Ooh. Wow. He said he's running a more personal race, a run for life.
Okay.
Yeah, for him.
What does that mean?
He said that he's had a hard time. He's overcome a lot, is what he said. He said it's a struggle to keep his life on track. He said he had to watch his mother raise 5 children by herself.
Sure.
Yep. He said, it was hard watching my mother trying to raise all of us. I saw all the hardness and disparity that she was going through to try to keep the family together and give everybody the things they needed. He said that grew up in a world in his neighborhood was a lot of drugs and drug dealers and a lot of shit happening on the streets. And he said he saw a lot of people make a lot of money on the streets. And he said what he did to get away from it, quote, oh, here we go. I began going to church and learning about God and the Bible, which is just reminds me of that Mr. Show sketch where the guy says, because life is precious and God and the Bible, making fun of people who stand up at talk shows to make comments. That's a Mr. Show sketch. That's why it's fucking funny that he says that. So he said he broke away from it all. Just keep this in mind. He's such a good church-going man, this guy here.
Yeah.
So he said he also credits the help of his teachers and coaches for, quote, showing him the way, the right way, the correct path to take in life. Oh, God, these are good quotes for later.
I don't like when he says hardness. Isn't it hardships?
Hardships, yeah. It's hardships, but he's 17.
Is weird. Yeah.
He's 17. He's a 17-year-old kid.
Maybe
Don't expect him to be eloquent.
Close.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's fine. We got the idea of what he was going for, but
I guess, yeah.
Clean that shit up if you're going to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do interviews on television.
Talk to the people.
Yeah. Do fucking
say the hardness.
80 million people are watching. He's going to be like, I've been through the hardness. And they're like, what? People trying to learn English going, I don't understand what he's saying. Looking through their fucking translators. So he said that this past January, his cousin Todd was shot and killed, or was killed, wasn't shot.
Oh, no.
He said, Todd was like a brother to me. I still can't believe he's gone. I tell myself it wasn't him, but I'm beginning to accept it better. I now dedicate each track meet to him. It motivates me to run faster. That's how he's going to run faster. He says that the community and press have the conception that teachers sometimes give good grades to athletes and people in athletics like himself to make them eligible to play. But he said no. He said, quote, I feel the teachers are doing the best they can, and they are taking their time to teach us the things we need to know in the world today. Jesus Christ, this kid is really... couldn't be more vanilla with his quotes.
But why is he already defending the teachers? Is there even any scandal that he's...
Nope.
You know what I mean?
He's just trying to say, I'm a good kid. I'm not one of these kids that, you need to be afraid of. Think about the time. It's 1990. So they're like,
oh, yeah.
I'm not that kid. I'm a nice kid. Look at me. He said, I feel it's the kids who don't want to learn. He's blaming the kids. I feel it's the kids who don't want to learn.
Really?
Now I'll quote The Simpsons. No, it's the children who are wrong. I'll quote Principal Skinner here. They feel like someone owes them something instead of going out and getting it themselves and striving for it. He just heard old people complaining and he fucking co-opted it.
Yeah, is he just hanging out in a barbershop all day listening to...
Someone give this kid a fucking NWA tape. I swear to God, somebody put a Public Enemy tape in his hand right now.
Or a television with some news on it.
Yeah, that is fucking hilarious. That what fucking teenager talks like that? I don't want to know a teenager who's not subversive a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want to know a teenager who's like raging for the machine. That's fucking awful. What a boring teenager.
I don't want a teenager pissed off at the teenagers.
That's what I mean.
Why are you so mad?
You revolt then, and then later on you just go fuck it, and you crumble into the path of life. But wait till later. To do that.
He's already giving up and raging.
Or get some podcasts, so then you can be a dick all you want.
That's very funny.
It gets better. You know what? Let's do some in their own words here for this. I think let's give this guy his fucking stupid shit. All right, here we go. In their own words, quote, but no, I don't want the easy way out. I want to be able to read and write and talk on television and radio with a bit of intelligence. I don't want to get in front of millions of viewers and appear illiterate. My goal in life is to go to college and carry on my track career. Once I am successful, I want to come back and help my society the best way I can. As for taking the easy way out, I don't think I would ever want to do that. I would rather work hard at whatever I do. I wouldn't want anyone giving me a grade. I'd rather someone pressure me to pick up a book and read.
Okay, he's got some disdain for the lazy.
Yes, and then he says also that he believes that black athletes are sometimes not treated fairly by the press. He said, here I am, a 2-time state titleist in track and field, and every time I come home, the front page will talk about some white kid winning the high jump. I flip the pages again and again, and I'm in the back of the paper in a corner with just the events I won. I think everyone should get the same respect. If someone does good, let the people know they have another star coming along no matter what race they are.
Okay, so I'm taking it he's a black guy.
He's a black guy. Yeah. Chris is a black guy, yeah. I gave you his numbers, didn't I? I gave you his 100-meter time, right? Oh,
yes.
Did you think that was a white kid running that fucking? Let's be.
Not so high.
Let's be fucking honest here.
Yeah. There's very few white kids running that fast.
Yeah, I don't know any.
If any.
That's what I mean. I don't know. Fucking all the last record holders of sprints in 100 none of them are fucking
Great
white
point.
that I remember.
No.
No.
Male or female, either side.
No, no, that's ridiculous. No, I get once I said 10.71 100 meter, you should have went, oh, the black guy. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
black guy.
Yeah, obviously. Jeez. May 24th, 1990 here. He is selected by the Track and Field News as a National High School Indoor Track Athlete of the Year. And received the Benno Keeter Memorial Award, presented each year to the outstanding prep athlete in the Dayton area.
Benno Keeter.
Yes, he had the best times in the nation at the 200 meter, 300 yard, 300 meter. Those are different, apparently. And by a couple of feet. The 400 meter and the 55 meter high hurdles.
55 meters high hurdle. So
and they're not 55
he's running
meters
55
high.
meters. What is that? No, I don't.
That would be amazing.
Fucking better.
180 feet. He's jumping in the air. It's incredible. He's got ups. Pick up a basketball, for God's sake, Chris.
Sincerely,
I don't care if you're Spud Webb. You can dunk.
It's over. It's over for these people.
Jesus, he dunked from half court. This is incredible.
55 meters he's running. That's 150 feet. Jumping over shit.
The high hurdles, not just the regular ones. Those are like I guess, can't quite do it in stride.
Extra. Double bar.
His time for the 200 meters was a national record at 21.41 seconds, and all of his times ranked among the all-time top 10.
Unbelievable.
In high school. Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. August 8th through 12th, 1990, he is at the World Junior Championships in Bulgaria. Plovdiv, Bulgaria.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Never heard of it. Sounds like a lot of dirt.
Plovdiv sounds like there's gray smoke coming out of everything. Just clouds of it. I don't know why.
High hurdles, you're just jumping over stacks.
They stack some like folding chairs up, and you got to. This is what we have. I don't know. I don't even know what a Bulgarian accent is. I don't know anything about Bulgaria.
I got nothing.
Is that still a country? I think it is.
It's near Germany, right?
Bulgaria? I don't know where the fuck. And I know a decent amount just from World War II stuff about Europe. Bulgaria right now, I don't know where the fuck it is or if it still is a country. I really don't.
Is it by Turkey?
This is like we did a live show for Small Town Murder, and somebody there was a Bulgarian influence on something, and I said, "How many people here are Bulgarian?" 1,500 people in the room, not one person fucking clapped. And I was like, "That's insane!" Out of 1,500 people, not one of you is part Bulgarian. I feel like this is a made-up country.
Nobody in the family's ever been there.
It's a made-up country. That's it. I give up.
It's Lupaland.
Exactly. It's just a place in Disneyland in the corner that they turned the Star Wars. What they turned into the Star Wars.
Yeah, they demolished it to make Star Wars land.
That's what they did. Bulgaria land, they called it, and he just. So there he won. He was first, won the gold in the 400 meter, 4x100, and 4x400 again. So he's a bad
Junior
son of a
Olympics?
bitch.
Is that what this is?
This is the World Junior Championships.
World Junior Championships.
In Bulgaria. It must be a central location to all meet here. They're talking about him. He raced to a meet record in the 400 meter with a 45.43 second 400 meter performance. And he broke the mark that was previously set by an Australian named Mike Murphy. And he was crushed people. He beat the next guy by more than a second.
Oh.
That's ridiculous for track. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, a guy goes by, and then now another one went by.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's how much faster he is.
So long.
In the World Junior Championships too. This isn't like Ohio or some shit like that.
That's 2-3 strides, right? In seconds.
Yeah,
that's 3.
That's wild. So July 14th to 18th, 1992, the Universiade that's the name of the event. Universiade. It's in Buffalo. So I didn't expect that. I expect like Rio or it's in Madrid. No, it's in Buffalo. They had events over in Rochester too, just to make sure.
Universiade. It sounds like
Universiade.
It sounds like an Italian that's like not happy about it.
Disgraziare. Universiade. Disgraziare, Universiade.
Very funny.
Oh, man.
Angry they have to work it.
Angry they have to work. I'm going I got to work this piece of shit.
Universidad.
Universidad. Hey, compadre. So this one, he comes in second in the 200-meter here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, second. But he ran it in 20.17 seconds, which sounds incredible.
Yeah, what are you going to do, man?
It's faster than he used to.
19 and some change? I mean, you did your best. That's fast.
Fucking wild. So, August 2nd, 1992. Mm-hmm. Okay. He had just finished a 2-hour training run in the park, okay, in Dayton, when somebody popped out of the bushes and shot him in the back.
What?
With a gun and hit him, shot him in the back and left him for dead in the park.
Wow.
Shot in the back. The bullet went through and through, exiting the left side of his chest, puncturing a lung, severing an artery, and shattering his collarbone.
Holy.
Yeah. He was fucked up and falling over, and he was about 200 meters from his house at this point. So
he should
he's
run that
20.17 seconds away. Even with a gunshot wound, what is he, 30, 40 seconds away? That's pretty good.
He's probably going to get there on time. No problem.
I could see him seeing it going, I know this. It's 200 meters. I can do this.
That ain't nothing.
He hurdles a couple of park benches on the way out.
If I'm shot and bleeding and a fucking artery is ripped, if I can see my house, I'm like, well, I'm going to die looking at my house.
I'm going to fall down and go, ow! Ow, this fucking,
I'm going to die, and there's my house right there.
I'm dying so bad right now. I'm so fucking dying.
I'm dying so fast.
So fast. So he ended up taking the next 20 minutes to crawl to his front porch.
Jesus.
He crawled there where he knocked on the door and then flopped over on his back and passed out.
Oh, my. Cold.
He's super lucky he made it there, because otherwise nobody would have saw him. He would have just died in the bushes in the park.
Yeah, he just crawled for 20 minutes and nobody called the cops.
Nobody called the cops for a profusely bleeding fucking crawling man. That's fine. Yeah. It's not a rural area where nobody would have saw him.
Welcome to Dayton.
Plenty of people in Dayton. You could have an active gunshot wound as you crawl to the front of your house. Not only that, you're like a local hero, and near Olympian, and no one will call the cops.
You're the best high school student already.
Fuck him. People suspicious. He's just acting like that. If you go near him, he'll rob you. Because that's how people are.
Take it. Yeah.
So I'm surprised they didn't call the cops on him, not about him.
Right. There's a man trying to rob people. He's bleeding.
He's bleeding. He's obvious. He's knocking on people's doors. It's clearly a fucking ruse. So he flops on his back. His mother opens the door.
Uh-oh.
And she's like, oh, my God. And he said, this is amazing. This is the greatest fucking... I really hope that Suicidal Tendencies knows about this and use this for their own advantage, because he said, can I have a Pepsi? All he wanted was a Pepsi. Didn't ask for an ambulance. Just
he
one
said,
Pepsi.
Can I get a Pepsi?
He said, can I have a Pepsi? Literally is what he asked for. Just one Pepsi.
He thinks that the Pepsi is going to save his life?
And she didn't give it to him.
No.
No. Again, this is just following the song very closely here. She didn't give it to him.
No.
Instead, she called 911.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing to do here.
That's what you do.
Unlike in Mike Muir's situation in Suicidal Tendencies, when... he just might be needed a minute to chill and drink a Pepsi. This kid needs professional help. So
he needs to plug his artery.
That's what he needs. So she goes with him to the emergency room. The medics, fucking give him blood because he's lost pretty much all of it at this point. I don't know how he's got any left.
How do you, right.
An artery was severed.
Artery opened.
Yeah, just pumping shit out. They said that basically 5 minutes later, you would have definitely been probably dead. And they said the way the bullet went, about a centimeter to the right, you'd have been dead, too. You'd have been fucked. Wow. It would have tore off your fucking lung and everything. You'd have died. So he lost 10 pints of blood. I didn't even know you had 10 pints of blood.
I thought we had 9.
I thought 8, honestly. He had extra blood.
That's a lot.
He was full of blood, man.
I guess we have at least 11.
I was going to say, he's got to have at least 10 and a half at this point, right? Something. A portion of his collarbone had to be removed because it was just shattered by the bullet.
What do you do with that? How do they do
fuse
that?
it?
You got to put that together, right?
I guess put some fucking some Bondo on there. I have no idea. You do it like
put a fucking brace until it merges together.
I don't know. You do it like a 75 El Camino. You just kind of some rust
in
damage.
high school. We had a real skeleton as the skeleton.
Yeah.
And it was a lady from India, is what we're told. But she had a collarbone break, and it didn't. She didn't get like a doctor at all.
Yeah,
and there's really nothing they can do anyway. Yeah, so there was a fucking step in it.
Yeah.
So how does this guy get it? Does he have like a nasty set? Like
just a missing piece of it? I'm not sure here. So
just a gap.
They said that it is unlikely that he will ever run competitively again after this because his lung was fucking punctured too.
Great
so
point. Yeah,
he won't be able to breathe as well. But he recovers. Number one that I think a lot of people don't realize is every time like an NFL player breaks their neck and then they come back 2 years before doctors said there was any chance of them walking and they go, oh my God, it's a medical miracle. No, that guy's a 0.001% top physical condition of anybody in the world. A normal person, it would take 2 years. This guy's not a normal person. That's why.
And also,
you're in amazing, tremendous shape, which helps.
Also, please, let's not rush them back because they're still human. And I just saw that Kyler Murray is already back to playing after what happened to his knee last year. Why would you let that kid play for at least 3 years?
Dude, I don't have any fucking idea what the hell. That's because there's a lot of
money. That knee's
going to
get shredded again.
That's why.
That knee's going to get shredded again.
Yeah, but if you're him, you go, I make $32 million a season. So I need to play and make that because even if I'm limping a little later, I'm going to have money in the bank rather than having to fucking work for Fox Sports and fucking be like a local color guy on a broadcast somewhere.
I think I'd still I don't know. It's so hard to guess that, but I feel when I see him play, I'm like, oh my God, don't. He's too little. That's my biggest concern is that he's so little. It's going to happen again.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen again to him. He's been
oh my God,
he's gotten the shit beaten out of him a lot.
Way too much.
He's been in the league.
Way too much.
A few of those guys like that. So they're saying that he had just completed his sophomore season with Ohio State. He was doing well, but the doctors say that he's not going to recover. But he says he will, and so quickly here, honestly, he ends up recovering and ends up getting all ready and suited up to do a Big Ten meet, and then he ends up almost missing it because he collapsed on the ground on the track 2 days beforehand with chest pains.
Yeah,
while practicing.
Because you're fucking
you were shot in the lung.
That you require the most for this.
Air. Doctors examined him, found nothing wrong. They said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. So I don't know what the chest pain was.
You've been shot.
I don't know if it might have been, who knows if that's a psychosomatic. Who the hell, if you're scared of it, you never know. So he went on to compete and win the 100 and 200 meter that day.
Unreal.
Yeah. So at the NCAA, whatever they call them, the NCAAs, I guess the meet for the whole college.
The Universiades.
The Universiade. In June in New Orleans, he won the 200 and anchored the Buckeyes' victorious 4x400 relay team.
Wow.
Yeah. Then he won in Buffalo at the World University Games. He got the silver medal in the 200, finishing 0.03 of a second behind the winner. So right there. It's a photo finish pretty much. He's only 5'9", 150 pounds. Helps to be fast.
But how'd you like to lose to a guy that's got a fucking hole in his heart?
Yeah, he's like, let me show you my fucking exit wound scar.
I got an exit wound, and you can look at the entrance room when I pass you.
I was gonna say, while I'm in front of you. He said he fatigues more easily now and occasionally has no feeling from his left ear down his arm to his fingertips.
Hey man, keep running.
Keep running. It's great. He said he's sure he'll keep improving. He said, it scares me what I can be when I become the person I was. That's what he said, which is unpack that sentence. It scares me what I can be when I become the person I was.
Yep,
that's what he said, all right.
What you just said is frightening.
That's the guy who said, I want to make sure I sound like smart when I speak to millions of people in the media.
Intelligent.
I want to sound intelligent.
I want to sound literate.
Yeah, that sounded literate, just confused as a motherfucker. I would have said,
Those are all words.
Are you high? Is what I would have said. Have you been, what kind of weed have you been smoking? Because that is some
drunk, my friend?
Just scares me to become what I can become when I become the person I was. fuck are you talking about? How many mushrooms did you eat? So he said that the shooting changed his outlook on life. They never caught the guy who shot him either, by the way.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Never
and
even a
why?
suspect.
And who?
Never even a suspect.
Holy.
It could have been some guy from a fucking rival school that was mad at him that shot. We have no idea. No fucking clue. It doesn't say he was robbed or anything. He was jogging. He probably had nothing on him, I wouldn't imagine. If you're training and running, you don't have no jewelry on. You don't carry your wallet with you.
You're wearing teeny tiny shorts.
Yeah.
You don't have any room.
Not like you're bringing all your credit cards out there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. He said that just being here means more than a victory. Before, I couldn't accept a loss. And he said now, though, he understands that it's not the end of the world because you're alive. So, you haven't been shot, and that's helpful. He said that he always professed a professional interest in morbidity even before it happened. Morbid shit he liked. Yeah. So, he started working the summers at a place called House of Wheat. WHEAT, wheat, like fields of wheat.
Yeah.
House of Wheat, which is a funeral home in Dayton.
What?
Yes. He plans to become an embalmer one day, he says. That's his plans. That's his professional plans. Not to be a track coach.
So sick?
To be an embalmer. It's interesting. He said, quote, "It's a nice future. You're always going to be born and you're always going to die."
Oh, my God, man. You're so young to be thinking like this.
I guess while you bleed out 10 pints of blood on your mother's porch.
Changes your perspective.
You might have weird shit. You know what I mean? You might just
start sitting there going, people die every fucking day.
Yeah, Jesus. If I was dead
Who works
here,
on that?
someone's going to make money off of this if I die on this porch. Who's that guy?
Who's the guy that's only going to have to put fluid back in this body?
That's fucking funny. He said, anyway, the shooting has taken its toll on him, obviously, from 1992. They talked about that. He talked a little more about the surgery, like after he woke up from the surgery. And he said when he woke up, he couldn't talk, but he scribbled on a piece of paper, "I'm scared," they all said. His father was there for this, actually. So
really,
I don't know how much his father was around, but he says his father was never around. But then when he gets shot, his father's at the hospital. So
sure. Was Jimmie Smith in the bushes?
Maybe, you never know. Where was he?
Did he do it?
Let's check him for leaves. Clothes. Let's check your clothes for leaves, sir. His father said that that was the first thing Chris did when he came out of anesthesia, was say he was scared. His father said, "I told him the worst part was over. If God had a trophy case, you'd be right up there in it." What the fuck does that mean?
What?
I don't know what that means. Does that mean
God
that
wants
him to die, and so he can put him on the shelf?
Athlete, so he can hold him in a glass case.
That's what I feel like, on a shelf somewhere.
He just needs the best ones like he's a card collector. He just collects the actual athletes.
It puts them on, like, make sure they're dead so he can take them. Yeah. Let's see. That's who the random shooter was. He just sent some random dark angel to fucking gun him down. That way I can have him. I like the way he sprinted. Yeah. God does a big universiade of his own up there, and he really wants it to be entertaining. He's got to get good talent, or else it's fucked.
He's tried really hard to get Magic Johnson. He just can't get
He couldn't get him. He's like, that Magic is a fucking... He's magic. That's all there is to it.
Goddamn magician.
That's an apt nickname. I'll tell you that much.
He's winning every day.
Otherwise, he made Steve Howe's car flip. So...
He loves pitchers.
He loves a lefty reliever with some spunk to him. He likes that. Something about that.
In his case.
There's a bunch of guys like that he likes. You know what I mean? Just into it.
What a sick thing for his dad to say.
It's very weird. Surgeons operated for 2.5 hours to repair the damage caused by what they believe to be a 32 or 38 caliber. They don't know because it was a through and through and they never found it.
38's a big fucking bullet.
Big one. They said the doctor said the bullet ripped through his left shoulder, exited just below his collarbone. His grandmother said, "I was nervous all day yesterday. Like Jim said, the worst part's over now." His grandmother's name is Mildred Humphreys, which is the best grandmother name ever.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. That is grandma to a T, Mildred Humphreys. Yeah. So, the doctor who performed his surgery said a full recovery was expected, but definitely a millimeter or two difference and a little bit bigger caliber, and he would have bled to death at the scene.
My God.
Never had any suspects. They said robbery didn't appear to be a motive. Guy hopped out of the bushes, shot him in the back, and ran away. That seems like on purpose to him, right?
Yeah. And how does that bode for training in the future? Wouldn't that give you enough PTSD to sit your fucking ass on a couch forever?
Just run around the circles in the living room.
Yeah, just run around the coffee table.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right. That's fucking wild. He said he had money on him and they didn't take it. So someone just wanted to shoot him, which is
his body is the prize. That's what they wanted.
I feel like, I swear to God, check who he just beat closely in a race or somebody he's competing with.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be looking at right now. Yeah, I want a conspiracy out of this. I want it to be
who's the rival of Dunbar?
That's what you need. I want to see that track coach. Where were you that day, sir? Take that kid down.
Some 47-year-old man who's never won a championship. He's about to retire, and this fucking kid for the next 3 years is going to beat his ass.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. He'd been jogging near Horrell Road in Trotwood, cut through some woods to get back to his apartment when he was shot. He said he didn't see his attacker and didn't really hear anything either. They said they do not believe the assailant stalked Nelloms, but a neighbor said Monday it would be easy to predict his running pattern. He always did the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to kill him, Donna Matlock, who lives at 720 Hallworth, said it's not always 2:30 a.m., but it's a pattern for Chris. It wasn't unusual for him to be running that early in the morning. He gets up super early because he runs for hours. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
She said her son sometimes would run with him. He'd wake up in the middle of the night to go on runs with him.
Really?
Yeah. So that is incredible that he made it there. They said there's just a big blood trail behind him, and
Yeah.
One person said at first he was laying in the grass because there's a lot of blood on the grass. Then he went to his house and to the front door, which is always locked, and he was kicking out there. He was kicking the pole to get help.
My God, man.
His mother, or his friend's mother, was there. Oh, it wasn't his mother. See, another report said that it was his mother that opened the door, but it was his friends. He was staying with a college friend's family.
Got it.
It was her mother there, and then they called his mother for help too.
She didn't give a Pepsi either.
Yeah, no Pepsi for anybody. This woman said, I just sat there to comfort Chris. I kept saying, don't go to sleep. So, yeah, they sent his jogging outfit to the crime lab for analysis and everything like that. They just said it's a crazy random thing. And Gloria said she's been able to withstand the stress resulting from the attack. She said, I'm used to being my son's backbone, so I can handle it.
Okay.
She's good. So they said he needs to heal. When he was coming back, all of his friends and the coaches were like, hey, calm down. You're good.
Yeah.
You know, one of his coaches said, this is fucking great. Chris is a tough little guy.
Yeah, he sure is.
Tough little guy. It doesn't really surprise me that he's going to pull through. That was a guy on the football team, actually, who's also on the track team. That's interesting.
And also
a
tough big guy, probably.
Yeah. Oh, Robert Smith. He's a running back. Is that Robert Smith that went to the Vikings?
I wonder
if it's that Robert Smith. That was in the 90s. Yeah, because he retired very early, so he would have come in the early 90s. He only played like 6-8 years, and then he hung it up, even though he was a very good running back. So that might be him. Yeah, that might be him. It's amazing, though. Yeah, 2:30 in the morning he shot, which that's interesting. One person said, this is fucking Robert Smith said, Dayton is not the best place to be. Columbus is not the best place to be. Cleveland is not the best place to be. Okay, yeah. We agree. That's fine.
Yeah.
So many people are carrying guns now. Chris is the fourth person I've known who's been shot. Fortunately, they've all survived. Wow, that's lucky. One of his coaches said, it makes you think how fragile life is. I don't know what exactly he was doing at 2:30 in the morning. You have to be cautious. You can't control everything, but you have to be aware of everything around you. I just hope they get the guy who shot him. And one of his coaches also said, it's a damn shame that a tragedy when a young man like that, it's such a violent world. He just fucking trailed off and then started that up. That's fucking wild. Another one, Richard Tutu Brown, who is the leading scorer in City League basketball history and a friend of Chris, said, it's very shocking to see that happen to a great athlete. Chris is a role model to the city of Dayton. A lot of people look up for him for the great things he's done at Dunbar and in Dayton. Gives you something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he overcomes it, though. He does really well. His one coach at Ohio State said, I just knew at one point that he said, I thought he wasn't going to make it. People were by his bedside and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And, he's still killing it, though. He does great, which is wild. I don't know how the fuck you do that how do you run with your lung fucked up?
It seems like it would take longer than, I don't know, a few weeks for a hole in your fucking lung, back and front, to heal.
That's what I mean, the whole thing. It's fucking He said, earlier this season I wanted to give up. I wasn't comfortable, I was frustrated, and people were beating me that I used to beat. But my coach wouldn't let me give up. He said it took a lot of my strength and flexibility away, and it took a lot of the fast twitch muscles in my arm. I've had to work a lot to get it back. So he said his late-night jogs were inspired by watching the Olympics on television, because that's what he always saw that people would do. This person woke up at 2 a.m. to go jog till 6 a.m, and then so that's what he was trying to do.
You've only got so many beats, man. Why waste them at 2:30 in the morning?
2:30 in the morning.
Jesus.
So once he came out of surgery, he just wanted a pizza. That's what he wanted. So his coach said, so I sent one of his teammates out for one. He sat there in his hospital bed and ate the whole thing. I bet. So he ends up in 92 and 93, coming back after this. He won back-to-back 200-meter titles in the NCAA Division I Indoor Track and Field Championships.
Yeah.
He won the 400-meter and 4x400-meter relay titles, as well as taking a bronze in the 4x100-meter relay. So he was named Ohio State Buckeyes Male Athlete of the Year in 1993.
They had a whole football team.
They have a very popular, very famous football team, and he is the male athlete of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, above the quarterback, the middle linebacker who's killing people. That's something, man. That's really something.
Certainly.
So he's only the third track athlete to win that title. And the other people were both Olympic medalists. So,
right, of course.
I mean, they were all fucking world.
We've got a very good friend who grew up in this area at this time who was a very good athlete there. What do you want to bet our friend Clayton knows that guy?
Oh, he probably remembers him, yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet he knows him. I'll bet he knows him very well.
Yeah, it's probably a small community, I would assume, track and field. You probably know everybody that competes.
I'm going to text Clayton tonight afterwards to find out.
So, 94, he took his first national title at the USA Indoor Track and Field Championships, winning the 200-meter race. He ranked second in the world on time for that indoor season, behind Olympic champion Linford Christie.
Unbelievable.
That's fucking amazing, honestly.
Awesome.
He does not graduate from OSU, though.
What?
Doesn't graduate. But here are his personal records. 100-meter dash, 10.33. Wow.
Yeah.
200-meter, 20.23. 300-meter, 32.38. 400-meter, 45.36.
So the man just starts out at top speed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He can his 0 to 60 is fast. He's up to speed fucking fast, man. It's real fast. So here we go. March 11th, 1997. So he's out of, school here and all that.
He's done with college. He doesn't graduate. So much for a guy that wanted to be fucking literate. What happened?
I don't know what happened. That's what I mean. He accepts a job as assistant track and field coach at Wilberforce University.
Oh.
Yeah. The athletic director there said he has hands-on experience for what it takes to get to the top in track and field. He has already been helping us out. He added a tremendous amount of enthusiasm to the program. Okay. So, he ran in the 1996 Olympic trials and did not make it. So that's why. So he got cut short there. They said that he'll continue to run in various events and hope to qualify for the Olympics in 2000. So he's still got
Yeah, you got every 4 years.
Every 4 years, yeah. Once you don't make it, you got to wait another 4 years, which is brutal.
So if you do something like that in your prime, you've got 2, maybe 3 Olympics that you can run in. That's it. Nobody gets 4.
No, you're not going to be 36 and fucking blowing by 20-year-olds. That's not unless you're on something. Yeah. Not unless you're on something.
Not a thing.
Then you'll have that taken away from you, and that's that. Yeah. So, he's doing that. May 12th, 1998. This is not good. So he's working with the kids. He's doing great, doing wonderful. He's got everything great. He's
end of the school year.
And God and the Bible, as they said on Mr. Show.
Yeah.
May 12th, 1998, he is arrested.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Dayton City Police arrest him, not for shooting himself in the back, luckily.
Oh.
He is arrested on the charge of, quote, rape of the child under the age of 13.
Holy. Rape of a child under 13.
Under 13. Very
Could be
specific.
Anywhere from 1 to 12.
So 12 and 3/4.
Yes.
Yes, it gets worse. Don't worry.
Oh, boy.
Dayton police filed the warrant in municipal court, but more than a month after they tried to discuss the matter with the Nelloms, I guess they tried to talk to them and nobody would talk to them. A lieutenant said that 3 detectives from the County Violent Crimes Task Force took him into custody shortly after noon. They said, quote, he was waiting for them. He opened the door. There was no problem. Oh boy. They said that he should probably get a bond that will let him out, which I think is wild.
Yeah.
Wilberforce University, where he's been working part-time as a track coach, issued a statement, and they said they, quote, regret that a member of the staff is involved in a very serious legal case.
No kidding.
We are continuing to gather information on the situation. He's been placed on administrative leave. Wow. Police tried to talk to him by telephone on April 10th, which was a month ago, but he said he would call them back and then never got back to them.
I got a feeling Clayton's not going to admit to knowing this guy.
He's going to, maybe not. Maybe he'll go, that guy was an asshole.
Yeah.
So May 13th, 1998, he has a bond of $100,000 set for him. He's 26 at the time, by the way, here.
Jesus.
He's getting he wants to have the bond reduced, his attorney said, and his mother voiced her support for his son as well. She said, quote, "I believe in him. I believe in his innocence." Okay. So let's see.
Saying that whatever investigation is flawed, I believe in his innocence.
Absolutely. So the indictments the grand jury returns are 8 counts of rape on a child under the age of 13. 8.
8.
It's 8 separate occasions is what that is.
How do you believe in his innocence with that?
8.
That's a lot of smoke and fire.
That's a lot. Yeah, there's smoke pouring out of every window. And you're like, I mean, it could be pizza rolls that have been on 5 minutes too long. You never know. They'll really smoke if you leave them in there too long.
This is the fire that killed Kurt Russell in Backdraft. It is raging.
Yeah, it's going to blow shit apart. One count each of attempt to commit rape of a child under 13 and felonious sexual penetration of a child under the age of 13, which is maybe the worst sounding charge in the history of the world.
Most disgusting, by far. Yeah.
Felonious sexual penetration of a child under the age of 13. Holy shit.
Holy.
Wow.
I mean, there should never be a legal penetration of a child under 13.
Felonious. Was there a misdemeanor?
Felonious should go away. Yeah, right.
It's just a misdemeanor sexual penetration of a fucking child. No worries.
There should never be one that just requires a ticket. Felonious should always be there.
Wow. The charges are based on acts which are alleged to have occurred in Ohio and Kentucky from From October 1st, 1995 to August 31st, 1997. 4 years. Yep, he's free on bond and says he's innocent.
You have to be kidding.
He faces life in prison.
Really?
Yeah, rape of a child is a fucking life in prison with the other ones too.
Even in Kentucky, huh?
He has no. He didn't marry the child. That was the difference. In Kentucky, they go, "You better put a ring on her finger right now." Says, "Well, I don't want to do that."
Just leading her on, you son of a bitch.
You some bitch bastard. She's trying to make ends meet just working at the bar. You don't have to come up to her and come on to her like that and get her hopes up.
Stop getting the milk for free.
That's right. Well, when it comes in, she's only 9 now or 11 or whatever the fuck.
Is it a girl?
Holy shit. Yes. We'll talk about it.
Oh, boy.
June 26, 1998 comes up here. He pleads not guilty officially to all of this. Wow. Okay. July 8th, 1998. There's another warrant out for him now. Now there's another arrest warrant out on a misdemeanor charge of public indecency.
What the fuck is he doing?
This really went downhill. I think he needs more Bible, I would say, probably. I think
Or he's got too much.
So, I mean, something happened here.
Back off the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, one of the two happened here. I don't know what's going on here.
You're really binging it, son.
I mean, if he was super into it and wasn't doing this before, maybe go back to it or fucking stop reading that thing because it's making you do weird shit. The police chief said that Nelloms has been accused of exposing himself to a minor at an apartment complex in the Dayton suburb of Trotwood. This is a month after he pleaded innocent to charges that he raped a girl several times. And
oh my God,
unfucking believable. So July 10th, 1998, he's arrested and released again somehow.
Yeah.
He visited his probation officer, according to his attorney. That's when they arrested him while he visited. Then he was released a few hours later. They said they wanted to evaluate whether the most recent pending charges against him were a violation of his probation. He faces 2 sets of criminal charges, one from the public indecency, which happened, that wasn't from the old thing. That was a new thing.
No, it's another thing that happened while he's been out.
Yeah, they said that was a Monday night incident at the Castlebrook Apartments. They said he exposed himself to a juvenile.
On a Monday night?
On a Monday night in an apartment complex. He's
As
just
if
whipping
there's
his
a
dick
day
out.
that could be worse, but
no,
that's
Monday's
so
worse.
bad.
Monday's the worst.
It's the beginning of the week. You don't have shit to do?
That is crazy. He's finally released on bond again.
What?
Yep, released on bond again. He said the allegations that he was involved didn't surface until April 9th. His lawyer said, "We were always suspicious when charges are made and there's a long time before an arrest," which is That's a funny thing. Defense attorneys say that all the time.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't matter if there is.
The timing can be beneficial to them either way.
If there's little time between those two, then they go, they didn't even investigate it. They came up with the idea and they arrested him. If there's a long time, they go, what were they waiting on? They couldn't find evidence. It's literally just a defense tactic.
Yeah.
It's, no matter what it is, they say that. And you'll hear it, and as people have multiple charges, and they'll complain both ways about it. And you're like, that's insane. That's insane.
Down. There are charges. Let's focus on that.
That's what his lawyer said, but that's what a defense lawyer's job is. He said, it leads us to believe that the police don't believe it's true either. That's why they charged him and brought him before a grand jury, because they didn't believe it was true. According to Nelloms, everyone was waiting for a doctor's examination to oh my God, this is awful. I don't even want to say this. To determine whether or not the young girl was still a virgin.
Oh, dear God.
That's why I had some trouble. I'm like, I don't even want to say it. Nelloms said he was an acquaintance of the girl. Nelloms then said this, quote, I was confident that the girl was still a virgin. I wasn't really worried because I didn't think the results would come back like they did.
Yuck.
What the fuck are you... oh, my God. The doctor's report supported the allegations, so that's why he was arrested on rape. That's what they were waiting for. Doctor's reports and things of that nature to arrest him on. To make sure that they had physical evidence of this.
What a vile thing to say out loud.
Holy shit.
You know what else? How many acquaintances do you have under 13, James?
None.
My daughter turned 13, so 0.
I'm related to them. My nephews and a niece or something. That's it. Sarah's nieces.
Yeah.
Those are my only acquaintances under 13. That's it.
Wow.
That is insane. If convicted, they go on to say, if convicted of an aggravated felony in the first degree, he could face a maximum of 25 and a minimum of 5 years in prison, according to the police here.
Just for the flashing, right?
Just for I guess for the aggravated felony in the first degree, whatever it is. Yeah. So he said, if I knew the results came back positive, there would be a warrant out for my arrest. He said he knew that was going to happen. So he said he'd been on temporary leave from his job and all that. He said, it's, quote, it's their policy to take that position initially. The subject will be reevaluated when more information is available. That's what the college said here. His old track coach at OSU, Russ Rogers, said he was shocked to hear the reports of Nelloms' arrest.
I'm sure.
He said, I talked to him on Thursday, May 7th. He called and asked me how to do a budget for his team and how to make recruiting arrangements. We talked for about 45 minutes, and he didn't mention anything about that case. He was a great Buckeye when he was here. He was a team captain, and our other kids respected him. While he was here, he worked hard. He did whatever we asked him to do. I never would have guessed he might be involved in something like this. I just hope it's not true.
Yeah, I can't believe I was on the phone with a sexual predator. That's unbelievable.
For 45 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And he says, and this is so funny, Nelloms said he really has a lot of respect for this Rogers guy. This Rogers guy's going, no, don't. You don't have respect for no.
You don't respect anybody.
He then basically said he taught me everything I know, which is hilarious and not the thing you want a pedophile to fucking say.
Everything I know, including.
He said, quote, Russ, this is amazing. That's what he said. The way he says it's so crystal clear to it. Russ has been real good to me. He's taught me a lot, even outside of track.
Yeah.
I turned to him for guidance. I'd be like, no, don't ever say that. Don't ever say
You son of a bitch.
No. They said his lawyer said, we intend to vigorously fight this case. We've been getting tons of support from people like Big Daddy Wilkinson, former defensive lineman for the Buckeyes. And he played for the Bengals for a long time.
I don't know.
And many other people at Ohio State. I think he was a top 3 draft pick in the mid-'90s there. He said, I know I'm innocent. This is Nelloms. Well, you know what? Let's give them it in their own words here, because this is going to sound ridiculous, and this is what In Their Own Words was made for. Yeah. So let's fucking do this. It's
already started stupid, but all right.
Yep. In their own words, quote, I know I'm innocent. I'm praying about the situation. I hope that everything turns out for the best for me. Support is something I need right now. It feels like someone has stabbed me in the back. I'm dealing with a real trying time right now.
He's a victim?
He's a victim. Think of that, what he just said.
What about...
Feels like someone betrayed me.
There's somebody been raped, man.
Oh my goodness. So he's got that's fucking crazy. So by the way, remember his mom, who's the president of the Dunbar Parent Teacher Organization, and she's, just a real high and mighty person. She's arrested on drug charges. September 30th, 1998. She's accused of possession of cocaine by the Miami Valley Violent Crimes Task Force.
That's what she's doing?
Yep. That's interesting. Wow. Wild stuff. So she at first says she's totally innocent. She doesn't know what you're talking about. This is crazy. Yeah. And then she admits addiction and requests treatment.
I have nothing to do with this.
She said she's a drug addict and asked for treatment in lieu of conviction. Please treat me. My son's fucking diddling kids. I really got a lot of problems right now.
I'm really fucked up.
There'd be fucking white dust on your upper lip if you're fucking living my life right now, okay? Let's just say that.
I got a snowstorm in these nostrils, and it's all because my kid's a pedo.
Don't look at my fucking arms. You're going to see track marks at this point. This is crazy stuff. So October 31st, 1998, Chris Nelloms pleads no contest to a misdemeanor charge of public indecency.
Okay.
Apparently, they said he exposed himself to a juvenile at the apartment complex, and they said that he, it carries a maximum penalty of 30 days in jail.
Okay.
So,
wow.
His attorney said that it was a strategic decision to resolve the case without him testifying.
Yeah, because that goes away, and otherwise that's going to be brought up here in a little bit, and that's not good for us.
They said he's planning to save his testimony for another case pending against him.
Which one's that, Chris?
Giant rape case. The giant fucking multi-count rape case. November 3rd, 1998, his mother is ordered into drug treatment. Gloria is ordered to go into treatment. She pleads guilty to possession of less than a gram of crack cocaine. I love that she's smoking crack, too. That makes it even better.
A crackhead.
She's not even blowing lines. She's smoking crack. Wild. She has to attend the drug court program in Montgomery County Common Pleas Court. And, if she completes it all, then her guilty plea and the charge will be erased from court records. So it's one of those. Yeah. Also, she had weed apparently on her, but she's, there you go. At first she said she was just holding the crack cocaine for a friend.
It's just a friend. Yeah. It's my friend's crack.
She said, weed's mine, crack is somebody else's. I'm holding crack for a friend. People who smoke crack keep their crack on them because they're going to use it real fast, pretty soon.
People that smoke crack don't trust anybody to not smoke their crack.
They don't go, hey, hold my crack for a while. I'm going to go. Nobody says that.
Yeah.
It never happened. So Nelloms, the son here, has to go back to court Wednesday. He reschedules his trial. The charges are that he raped an 11-year-old girl. And we'll find out who she is, yes.
Oh, my God.
He pleaded no contest, like we said. The indecency, public indecency, showing a kid your dick is a 4th-degree misdemeanor, by the way. Did you know that?
Misdemeanor?
That seems light.
Let's up that a little bit.
That seems light, right?
30 days in jail
Maximum.
for showing a stranger child your dick?
Your dick.
Are you kidding me?
That's
crazy.
That seems a little light, I would say.
That's going to happen again.
Well, yeah, if someone's going to go 30 days max, I mean, whatever. I mean, as long as I don't touch him with it, fuck it.
There's a hot little motherfucker around the corner. I'll show him next month.
Gross. Disgusting.
You got 30 days, little buddy. I'll be out in a sec.
Oh, my God. Jesus
That's
Christ.
horrible.
It's horrible.
How is that not a bigger penalty?
My mind is blown by that being a 4th degree. When you're putting out stuff and putting them, you go, what if you show your dick to a kid? I don't know. That's a misdemeanor, obviously. We can't take that too seriously. That's a pretty serious misdemeanor. I mean, it's not like littering or anything, or it's not like if
I didn't even know there was a 4th degree anything. I thought 3rd was where it started.
That seems low. Seems low. Seems like a way lower of a degree than I would put it.
My God.
I would put like a 1+1 misdemeanor, like a hardcore.
1st degree, but like the most serious first degree.
I would call it borderline felony misdemeanor is what I'd call it, maybe. That would
You're lucky
bring it home.
We didn't drag you to the court by your fucking hair.
Yeah. By the way, put your dick away, misdemeanor. That's no one wants to see it. There's that too. Fucking monster.
There's no reason that should be a misdemeanor. That should be whatever bottom rung felony. Make it that. I don't care.
Something. Yeah. 30 days, though, is not enough of a deterrent. If you really want to show your dick to people, that is not enough of a deterrent. 30 days.
4 weeks? What?
Yeah. Good time. You're out in 2. What are you, nuts?
Right.
Fuck that. They probably give you like weekend work release and all that shit.
Probably.
That's crazy. A 4th-degree misdemeanor.
I don't get it.
It's just low. It's just low.
Can't do that math on that. That seems crazy.
Insane. January, there's not a deterrent, I feel like. No. If you really love showing your dick to kids, I don't feel like that's enough of a deterrent. So
and it's, I don't know, whatever. It's just crazy.
It's bad. So January 5th, 1999 here, prosecutors making his statements, putting stuff out here.
Yeah.
He says, by the way, his attorney, Nelloms' attorney, said there's no evidence to support the child's allegations. None.
8 times. No
Other
evidence.
than the fact that she says that guy raped me a whole bunch, which is a big one. That's a big one there, I would say. That's a big piece of evidence here. The prosecutor said the evidence will show that he raped the 11-year-old girl on several occasions in Dayton and in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, my God.
The girl was 9 when he first assaulted her.
Right, because this is over a 2-year period.
9, Jimmy.
Gee, what?
Everyone out there, no, Jimmy, everyone, 9. What the fuck kind of monster are you?
I've never heard
9.
anything out of a 9-year-old's mouth that led me to think anything was hot.
They're 9. I just want them to go away so I can go fucking smoke weed or do adult shit.
Then go be an adult.
9. Yeah. Outside of my kids, if you're 9, get the fuck away from me, you know? Like, if my kids are 9, it's fine to have them hang around. But then, you know, at 10 o'clock, get the fucking bed, or 9 o'clock, get the fucking bed, because it's weed adult time. Leave me alone. You're not a part of this. So the girl was 9. She didn't tell anyone until she told a friend of hers last April after watching a television show about child sexual abuse. Because a lot of times the kids don't even know what the fuck happened.
Wow.
They don't know how wrong it is because they're children. They've had no way of knowing that.
And she didn't recognize it as wrong until she saw an educational program saying this is wrong.
Yep. And then she told her friend, this guy's been doing this to me. And she said also that Nelloms told her not to tell anyone or he would go to the electric chair. That's what he told her.
Interesting.
You like me. You don't want me to die, right? So they'll put me in the electric chair.
I don't think I've...
No, usually they say you'll get in trouble too. That's the usual.
Right.
That's the usual pedophile thing.
Or damage or harm to somebody you love.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
It's never... You don't understand. I'll get in trouble.
Think about the ego on this fucking guy. He didn't even have enough empathy of other people to realize that they exist. He's like, you'll be concerned about me, right? Not that you're 9 and you've been raped. That's not a concern.
Obviously, this person that you care about standing in front of you, me, I'll be in trouble, and you don't want that.
Jesus Christ. The prosecutor said, on the surface, she appears to be a typical 12-year-old girl at this point, when the court's going on, which she harbors the scars of a child who'd been the victim of sexual abuse, obviously. The defense attorney said that the girl has changed her story and that the evidence will not support her allegations. The defense attorney said, quote, this child lies about everything. The child is a pathological liar.
What the fuck?
Oh, man. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say about that shit. So January 6, 1999, here, the 12-year-old girl testifies in fucking court. You know how hard it is for a 12-year-old girl to get in front. Even because they clear the courtroom for the 12-year-old. And a lot of times they'll even do, 12 might be a little too old, but a lot of times they'll do kids' testimony in chambers with just the judge. They have a camera. The jury can see it from the other room.
Right.
But that's a crazy thing for a fucking child to deal with. An adult situation like that? Jesus. So she got on trial on the stand and said he raped her 8 times. She didn't immediately tell anyone because she was scared.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This is a horrible quote from her.
The fear that you go, I don't even
know if I want to put this in here. I don't think you do. I don't even know. It's fucking awful. You know what? No, he fucking did it. So we're going to, you know what? He's got to, this is to rub his fucking nose in it is what it is. He shit on the carpet and we're going to rub his face in it now. So everybody that we don't like this quote either, and but the girl said it. She had the balls to go to court and say it, so I think that it needs to be said. Quote, he started pulling my pants down. I didn't know what he was doing. I was in tears because it hurt me. Because you're a child.
Good Lord.
You're a fucking child. You shouldn't know what that is. That's
how do you, as an adult man, how do you keep going with somebody crying?
That's what I'm saying. He's a fucking monster. A monster can do that. And then go worry about me.
Right. I'll get in trouble for this.
Yeah, me. Wow. During the cross-examination, now you've called her, the defense attorney's called her a pathological liar to the jury. Now she gets on the stand, seems very believable. Now you have to go up as a defense attorney and do what? What do you do?
Yeah, how are you going to cross-examine?
Call a 12-year-old a fucking pathological liar? Well, you want her to come out with more details? Because I doubt you do.
Yeah, that's not good either.
I go, I'll fucking start throwing down all sorts of details. Yes, during cross-examination, the girl told, this is what they tried to do to get her to, seem like a pathological liar. She admitted that she once got in trouble for forging someone else's name on a piece of paper so she could get a gift. Shit a kid would do.
Right.
Shit a little kid would do. Like, I want to get the toy. And the little kids do that. That's not, that guy raped me.
That's the same as rape accusations.
Wow. Normal kid fibs is the same as that. They said also that he didn't hit her or anything, so there's no marks on her afterwards. He didn't beat the shit out of her or anything.
It's still violent.
That is fucking horrible. By the way, directly under this fucking article about with these quotes and everything else in it, just a horrible thing. Here's an ad. Male erection problems?
What?
After hearing that, yeah, I think so.
If you bought an ad in this paper and they put it, wouldn't you be livid?
Either livid or I did it on purpose because I'm like, no one's going to want to get a hard dick after they read that.
Yeah.
When I read an 8-year-old saying that, my dick is not, it wants to be put away for a while now,
As a person that purchased the ad, I'd be like, why would you put that there, you fucking jerks?
Thanks a lot. Free sample of Viagra with this ad.
Wow, Viagra.
And then when you're done, when your dick's hard and you finished, then there's a nice $3 off a carton of Marlboros next to that. So, wow.
Ad placement, you bastards.
Oh, boy. So, January 9th, 1999, here, he is found, let's see, the jury comes in, and he is found guilty of repeatedly raping this young girl.
Jesus.
They said he dropped his head when they read the verdict. His fiancée Tina began sobbing from the second row of the courtroom and was escorted out by a friend. Gloria, mom, was also in tears. His sister-in-law, Shelley, said the guilty verdict just took everything out of me. From what I've heard in the courtroom, there was no evidence other than a 12-year-old girl with a detailed description of a grown man raping her.
Right.
Which is a pretty...
No evidence except for the fucking victim right there.
Well, because there's a lot of 12-year-olds who really want to go to open court and talk about being fucking touched and raped sexually. That's insane. Boy. To say that is fucking insane. Yeah, he's convicted of 7 counts of rape of a child younger than 13, 1 count of felonious sexual penetration of a child under 13, found innocent of attempted rape of a child under 13. A charge stemming from the allegation that he attempted to sodomize the girl. But there's no hard evidence of that, so they don't, because the doctor couldn't say that happened.
Or
because
she
he
said
couldn't do
he
it.
tried but couldn't.
Yeah. So they found him not guilty of that.
Fucking 9.
He decided it's not good enough to do this to a fucking child. I also need to. That's imagine that. Think about that.
Further.
Think about that. Wow. Defense lawyer plans to appeal. Obviously, the defense lawyer said we're very disturbed by this verdict. So am I. We agree on something finally.
I'm disturbed by a lot so far.
Chris Nelloms is a fine man with an awful lot of potential. An awful lot of potential to be stabbed in jail, is what I see a potential. If otherwise, not a lot of potential left at this point. His lawyer said clearly this case came down to who was telling the truth and who was not. Yeah, it did. And
It sure did.
they believed a 12-year-old. That's what it is.
That's the funniest thing ever.
January.
The defense said that?
Yeah, that was the defense attorney who said that. Clearly, that's what it came down to, obviously. Yeah. And, wow, yeah, they believed the child, not your guy. So, January 22nd, 1999, the defense claims juror bias. That's what they said.
They don't like it when kids are raped, and we don't mind.
They get real pissed off at that.
Yeah.
They said that, but they were talking about one of the jurors. They claimed that they demanded a new trial because they claim one of the jurors who convicted him later said she knew the victim's mother.
Okay.
That's what they claim. Now, the prosecution says that these quote-unquote facts uncovered by the defense attorney differed considerably and are completely opposite of what she believes actually here. He's in jail without bond awaiting sentencing, obviously, on 8 mandatory life prison terms, by the way.
Holy.
Yeah, that is...
they take that a little more serious than just showing your dick.
Yeah, once you put it in, then they're serious then. You can take it out, and that's fine, but you better keep it to yourself.
Wow.
So the defense attorney said a man named James Fletcher contacted his law firm claiming he had spoken to Nelloms' juror Saturday at Hair Capital, a hair place. And that's what they said. And the juror couldn't be reached for comment. The manager at the shop said he didn't recognize either the Fletchers, this person, or the juror's name. Didn't think so. Okay. They think they made this guy made this up. They said anybody could have been here, the manager said as well. Like, I don't know who the fuck was here. So the defense attorney said he first met with this Fletcher and didn't interview him until 2 days later, and the guy signed a sworn statement. In the affidavit, she said the juror told him that she knew the 12-year-old girl's mother and that she knew Chris Nelloms had done similar acts before, and that, well, obviously, this isn't the first time he's done this. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
This is your first, no, there's a lot more to this.
You don't get brought up on charges for this and then show your dick again while
exactly.
on your, and these are the first 2 times this ever happened. This is a thing for him.
Yep, that's it. And she said that the juror knew that he was guilty based on what she knew about him before the trial began. Mm-hmm. That he had accusations that he fucked other kids, too.
Right.
Wow. They said that they began an investigation into the allegations against the juror. And, so later on there's an article here in the Dayton Daily News, and it says that basically their defense is that the jury was biased against him, not only for that, but that they were also racist against him too. They said so. Here's an article. It says knee-jerk defense of Chris Nelloms forgets victim, and this person says this suggests that it's open season on young black males in Dayton. That the life of a young African American male is worth absolutely zero. That's what Randy Faison, a political and social action chairman of the Dayton chapter of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, said after his conviction. The board is planning to meet next week to issue a statement on the case. The longtime chapter president, Reverend Raleigh Trammell, he sounds like a chapter president of some sort of Southern Christian leadership. Raleigh, like the city. Raleigh Trammell said the organization will almost undoubtedly support an appeal of the verdict. The case was a miscarriage of justice, he says. They said, what is your evidence of that it's a miscarriage of justice? He said, quote, it's based on my knowledge of Chris Nelloms.
What?
We know that youngster. We have seen and supported his efforts. He's not the youngster here. He's 26. No, he raped a youngster.
That's a grown man.
That's a grown man. We have seen him. We have seen and supported his efforts, and he's not the kind of person who would commit this kind of crime. It's not the kind of crime you know anybody would commit because they're not going to tell you about it because it's fucking disgusting and they know it.
What are the chances a man hid in the bushes willing to execute another man who possibly raped his child?
There you go. That's guy in the bushes.
If that
makes
was
a lot
the
of
thing?
Fucking sense now, doesn't it?
And what if Nelloms knew? What so
that was my later on conspiracy theory, but I'm
sorry.
glad. No. I'm glad you said it first. Fuck it.
I'm furious.
It's great.
That
I love
possibly
it.
that could have been a thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to say somebody may be out to get me because I did this thing.
Someone could have popped up and said, "You fucking raped my niece," and shot him.
Pop. Yeah.
Pop. And he said, "I don't know what happened."
Some guy tried to kill me at 2:30 in the morning.
I'm sorry.
Random.
Popping out of the bushes with a gun, just waiting to shoot somebody,
Right.
but not rob them.
Right.
That's not 2:30 in the morning park behavior.
No.
That's crackhead
No, it's not.
behavior looking for money.
It's crackhead looking for
Or
money
revenge.
or retribution and revenge. You
Someone's
betcha.
real pissed off.
Somebody's mad, and they know where you're at, and they're going to find you. And that's the
Wow.
kind of shit that somebody that is willing to fight for somebody else, they're willing to do that shit.
Fuck yeah. So this article goes on to say, all of which begs the question, what value do they place on the life of a black child? That's the question raised by a juror in Nelloms' trial, interviewed on the condition of anonymity. One of two black women on the jury, she's outraged at the accusations that he didn't get a fair trial. She's like, bullshit. I'm black, and trust me, fuck that guy, is what she said. Yeah. She said, she said, quote, he had a very impartial jury. We were very fair and very intelligent in our discussions. The verdict wasn't racially motivated in any way.
She was on the jury.
Yeah. She said that, she was one of the jurors, one of two black women on the jurors. She said that she was one of 4 or 5 jurors who cried during deliberations. She said, nobody wants to send a man to prison, yet I feel in my heart he did it and he has to pay for it.
Yeah.
She said she's a religiously devout woman and prayed throughout the trial to make the right decision. She said, I was waiting for him to prove some believable way he didn't do this. He was the biggest disappointment. For the first 20 minutes, he talked about all his accolades. Who cares? He could remember every track meet from the time he started. But when it came to time to talk about this child, he didn't have much to say.
He had gaps in fucking memory?
Don't remember that, but I remember getting the silver in fucking Universidade, fucking whatever the hell in Buffalo. So they said the testimony of the child, in contrast, was overwhelming. The jurors said, quote, kids lie. I'm mature enough to know that, but this child never retracted a statement. The basis of her story never changed. She remembered the things a child would remember, such as playing Nintendo or watching a Batman movie. Her testimony was very detailed.
Did he do that and then that?
Yes. Grooming.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, let's play some Nintendo, guy. Yeah, girl, it's fucking disgusting.
Boy, duck hunt.
This juror was shocked by Thursday when the Nelloms attorneys demanded a new trial, claiming that another juror told a customer in a barber shop that she'd known the mother, that whole thing. Okay. This person, the juror here, said the accused juror was very conscientious, very professional, and never said anything about knowing the family.
Okay.
And, but that's not good enough for old, Southern Christian, whatever the hell group guy.
Raleigh? Yeah.
Trammell here. Raleigh Trammell said, he's convinced the investigation wasn't very thorough. He said there was no corroborating evidence of the child's story. A child is a child, and children are led to do certain things. We must do a thorough investigation to be sure of the evidence we convict somebody on is solid.
Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about? First of all, corroboration how? They don't. When people molest kids, they take them in a very fucking private area to do it. Yeah. There's never witnesses to it. There's none of that shit. It's the kid's word against theirs. That's why they do it, because then they go, the kid's fucking crazy. They don't know what they're liars.
Mr. Trammell, with all due respect, the corroborating evidence is while he's out on bail, he showed his dick to another child.
There you go. He likes to show his dick to kids, period. And he pled guilty to it.
This kind of thing.
And he fucking pled guilty. He said, I did that. So
no contest. I don't even want to fight it.
If I didn't show my dick to a kid and you said I showed my dick to a kid, I will fight it to my dying breath that I did not show my dick to a fucking kid. Period. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So the juror responded to this, to the Nelloms supporters. She said, quote, they know Chris Nelloms the star, the nice person. The prosecution showed a different side. If they had been there every day and heard all the testimony, they would think differently. But maybe not. They are speaking of the Chris Nelloms they think they know. She said she wishes people would pay more attention to the victim in the case here. She said, the bottom line for me is, how could I let him go? Who's going to protect this child? Who's going to protect this baby?
Yeah.
And so, that's it. Trammell points out, though, that a person can be wrongfully convicted. And, he said he was hinting at it's a setup and all this sort of thing. He said there's no substantiation. He used the word witch hunt, of course.
Mr. Trammell.
Never a good sign here.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
By the way, the victim is also black. By the way, this isn't it was a little white girl and they believed, and that's who they set her up with. They got the blondest girl they could find. Yeah. This is a little black girl who said this black guy fucking raped her. So they're like, I don't know where the race comes in on that. Right. It was what the jurors saying anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, they said though the SCLC is standing up for Nelloms. They said where is the proof of miscarriage of justice and all this type of thing, and they said, well, Nelloms wouldn't do this, is what they said. So
guys, he did it again.
So sentencing comes around here.
Yeah.
Oh boy. The judge said it's a bitter pill to swallow when one of the chosen, such as you, falls so low.
Yeah, that's the credo.
That's a good one. That's a fucking good one right there. Yeah. So they come in here and they have to give victim statements here. The victim's mother says, my 12-year-old daughter was raped and nobody knows what I'm going through. She said, maybe one day I can forgive him. Nelloms' father said, my son says he didn't do it. I believe him. I'm waiting for something to break, something to give so we can know what the truth is.
There's a gavel break.
I'll give you a break. There you go. 5-minute break. The prosecutor said a small child was raped and a man manipulated her, frightened her, and scared her into keeping that secret for some time. Nelloms, while sobbing, said that he hopes someone will, quote, have mercy on me and forgive me and that my family will understand. And the judge says his thing about, being fucking too low. You're getting someone chosen fall so low. And then he said, you, sir, may fuck off 4 life sentences.
Oh, my God.
Served consecutively.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was 7. It was each of the 7 counts of the child younger than 13. 1 count of felonious, blah, blah, blah. 4 of the sentences be served consecutively is what it is. He's got 7 total.
The good news is he got 3 concurrent. So that feels like they
got to win.
They forgave you. Gave you some mercy.
We'll call that a bronze, I think, right? And in terms he can understand.
That is brutal.
He will not be eligible for parole for 40 years. It's a hard 40.
Unreal.
So he'll be 66 when he gets out if he got out right away. And I can't imagine you bring this before the parole board and they're anxious to put you back out on the street. With your dick
66
dangling.
is far too spry with a little bit of tea left to get an erection. To show to
too
a
much.
Kid.
A little
way
too much. Spring in your step or something.
We need a little lower tea than that.
A little bit lower. He is also designated a sexual predator now, not just a sex offender, a sexual predator, and will have to tell authorities where he will live at all times and everything like that. So he is fucked.
Every time someone disappears, his phone's going to get a ring.
Every time if he's out.
Where you been?
First guy they talk to is going to be him. Was he old? Was his dick out? We're talking to Chris.
Every goddamn time.
Yep. So he's trying to get a new trial in March of 1999, and they go, you're not getting shit. No juror misconduct that would merit a new trial. The juror denied it, and all the other jurors denied it. No one said they ever brought that up. We have one guy who said they met in a barber shop and said that. And that publicity is in this case. So that could be just someone who wants to get their fucking name out there. So December of 1999 here, he has another appeal he's trying to do here. Jesus Christ. So he contends that the trial court did not have subject matter jurisdiction in regard to 5 of the rape charges, therefore erred in permitting him to be convicted on those counts. I assume that means because they were in Kentucky.
He wants to talk about it in Kentucky, maybe?
Yeah,
dude, you don't want that.
You want. How about when you're done here, we'll bring you to Kentucky, and then you can get charged for them there too.
You don't want that justice, sir. Because that's
worse.
I think that one would entail crossing state lines, and that's trafficking, man. You don't want that.
That's even worse. Yeah, they said it's clear that the trial court did not have subject matter jurisdiction over 4 of the counts of rape, which he was convicted. Therefore, we find that those convictions must be dismissed for lack of matter jurisdiction.
Okay.
However, we conclude that his claims of juror misconduct and ineffective assistance of counsel, I'm sorry, that counsel said the most ballsy, ridiculous things ever. How much more effective can you? Yeah, he tried, dude. That's crazy. So they said the judgment of the trial court is reversed, and it's remanded with instructions to dismiss 4 of the counts for lack of jurisdiction and for resentencing on the 4 remaining counts.
Wow.
So that's what they did. Yeah, that's disturbing, I gotta say. So they said, yeah, apparently he contends the trial court erred in permitting him to be convicted of the charges contained in counts 1 through 5 of the indictment. He says they occurred in Kentucky and lacked the jurisdiction. The state argues that he was convicted of forcible rapes and forcible sexual penetration, both of which require the element of force to be proven, and it further argues that force can be psychological or physical, and they also contend that while physical force of the crimes for the first 5 counts occurred in Kentucky, the psychological element of force carried over into Ohio, and they said no, because that was for him saying he'd go to the electric chair.
Okay.
Holy shit. So, so
he keeps 40? Okay, so they're going to resentence those.
Yeah, he's got to get resentenced because they have to take it away. They have to take some away. So we don't know if he got sentenced to the consecutive life ones. Were they on the Kentucky counts? Were they on the Ohio counts? We have no fucking idea here.
Okay.
So they said the threats could have been made once Nelloms, once they moved back to Ohio. Oh, did I not tell you who this person was, by the way?
Oh, no. Do I want to know? Is it a coach's... Is it somebody's... Whose daughter is it?
Who would he have access to in different states?
Is it family?
Think about it.
Is it family?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is this his niece?
Oh, no.
His daughter,
it's
isn't
his
it?
Fucking daughter.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Figure out a wait on that one. But yeah, that's...
So they should be able... Shouldn't that be able
liar.
just to be held in That's your own daughter that you would say that about in court? Wow, man.
I don't know what to say about that. I'm a little disturbed there. That's yeah. So they turned to the claims that trial court failed to use most of the people on Nelloms' witness list, and they said it's clear from the record that many of the witnesses listed on the witness list were not called. He contends that's why he said ineffective counsel. Several of the witnesses who were not used were important to his defense. Specifically, he argues that the testimony of his former girlfriend's children would have refuted or called into question the victim's allegations because they slept and were present in the same bedroom in which some of the incidents occurred.
That is horrific.
That doesn't make it better. He wants to talk about that.
No, that makes it worse.
Yeah, if I even fucking think for a second, not only was he raping this kid, but doing it in the presence of other fucking kids... They could have woken up and destroyed their lives, too. Holy shit.
He's dangerous.
This is a dangerous fucking person.
Yeah.
Dangerous. The rest of the witness list who were not called, Nelloms fails to state how their testimony would have helped him or by how he was prejudiced by them not being called. Wow. We note that the record does not contain any hint of what the children would have testified to. They didn't take any... was no grand jury testimony from those kids that they could put that on, or how the testimony would have refuted the claims. They might have said, I opened my eyes and saw it. They had no fucking idea. So they said, therefore, we cannot find that the failure to call young children to testify rises to the level of ineffective assistance of counsel. Especially young kids. You don't know what the hell they're going to say anyway.
What if his counsel talked to them and was like, I'm not putting that person on the stand. It's so detrimental to us.
Yeah, it's not a good decision. It's just, it sounds bad. If they believe what your daughter's saying, you're in deep shit. So, this is just a lot. So they said that Nelloms finally has claimed that the trial counsel was ineffective for failing to prepare an expert to refute the state expert. Yeah, they said so. He said they didn't do that. Well, I think there wasn't really much to contend. I think you're just making more talk about a young girl's sexual injuries, which is not what you want in front of the jury.
What expert is going to refute this girl's allegations?
Another fucking
that
problem.
Expert wasn't there.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So they throw out 4 of his 8 felonies here. He's still if he's resentenced, he could still draw consecutive life sentences with no parole for at least 40 years. So that's helpful. May 2000 here, he seeks new trial now. Again, new trial. His new attorney, Charles W. Slicer III.
Okay.
He sounds like a fucking scumbag. He now contended that Nelloms was prejudiced at his trial when the jury heard allegations of the Kentucky offenses. Now they're saying that even having those brought up completely put a shadow over all the other ones.
Yeah.
So
well,
made it
8
more
sounds
believable.
worse than 4.
Yeah. It's half and half.
It's
too
many.
It's too fucking many. That's crazy. So
if a girl says she's raped by her father twice, that's fucking wild.
8 is...
4 is out of control. 8, obviously, beyond. But 4 even is like, oh my God, what the fuck, man?
Oh, it's...
How?
I can't even fucking imagine. So this new guy, Slicer, said that Nelloms has learned that certain events on the day of one of the charged offenses did not happen, although the events were described by the complainant there. Slicer also said he has more evidence to shore up Nelloms' alibi for the same incident, meaning she might have gotten a day wrong 2 years ago while her dad raped her.
Perhaps it was Wednesday and not Tuesday.
Yeah. So the judge ordered him to, by the way, when he was resentenced, they ordered him to serve another 4 life sentences. So that's why he wants that. So they said that the judge ordered that the stiff sentence for was what he called the most serious and despicable charges described in Ohio law.
Absolutely.
You're the biggest scumbag we have. He basically said, scummy for scumbag of the year goes to... It's a tough year, though. This is a year when this isn't the clear-cut winner.
No, it's not.
Because Sergio Mitre exists. And
he exists, yeah.
We had a few people do shit like that this year. That happened.
Yeah.
Wow. So the case is now... Nelloms. This girl said Nelloms would sneak into her bed and threaten her if she failed to submit to him. The girl's mother had entrusted the girl in Nelloms' care when he lived in Kentucky, and later when he returned to Dayton. He maintained his innocence, and he said, I hope to see in someone's heart that someone will have mercy on me and forgive me. That was his thing. So they reimpose it. You, sir, may again fuck off. 40 years, no parole.
Okay.
Eat dicks. Yep, fuck off.
Same sentence.
Same sentence, exactly. But Charles W. Slicer won a moral victory, he called, after the appeals court reversed half of the 8. He said, well, I got half of them anyway. But
I got 4 gone.
The rest of them aren't there anymore. So
same outcome, but I'm a winner.
That is fucking wild. So now he appeals again. He appeals again. His direct appeal, he got shit reversed at his sentencing. They said the trial court stated, quote, this is on his remand for that. Mr. Nelloms, as you know, the Court of Appeals decided that the crimes were committed in Kentucky and did not have sufficient nexus to Dayton to vest this court with jurisdiction over you. So they said, oh, that's a big deal. They said the jury said that the crimes were committed and that you committed them. The jury considered the connection between what you did in Kentucky and what happened here in Dayton. The jury found that the force you used against the victim was psychological control that a parent has over a child, and that the control continued here in Dayton and related back to what you did in Kentucky. To the extent that the Court of Appeals found those facts differently from the jury is something that the Court of Appeals is going to have to explain in this case. The fact remains, though, that all 10 crimes were committed. Okay, so they said the fact is no less true. That's why you got 4 counts. So now they're saying that it violated his constitutional rights when they resentenced him.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. They said that, there's precedent for all this type of shit. They said the Supreme Court held that in this other case that this trial court violated a due process clause of the Fourth Amendment when it resentenced a defendant to a harsher sentence motivated by vindictive retaliation. Further, a presumption of vindictiveness arises when the same judge resentences a defendant to a harsher sentence following a successful appeal. It's the same sentence. I told you to fuck off for 40. I want you away for 40 years is what he said.
he disregarded those 4 or 3, whatever it was. Doesn't matter. You were only given 4 life.
That's what I mean. The others were, that's.
They were all in the wash.
They said that there's a case. They said we were only able to find one state appellate court that found the consecutive sentences on remand following a concurrent original sentences implicated. Oh, that was wrong. Okay. Yeah. This is all like case history stuff that I'm not going to fucking get into the legalities of. Do you want precedence? Is this a law court, a law class or some shit? No. So they said if it's reasonably clear that the judge reshaped the impost merely as a means of bringing original sentencing intentions to fruition after some new development had intervened, a need for employing the Pierce presumption never arises. Listen, fuck you, okay? You were sentenced to 4 in a row, and you're getting 4 in a row. I don't care if it's 4 from here, and then Kentucky, fucking let's try him there and eat shit. Judgment affirmed anyway. Fuck off is what they said. I'm fucking angry at this point.
They should have just told him, you know what, the 4 happened here. We're giving you 4 life there. We're also sending this to Kentucky and paying for them to try you there. Yeah. We'll do that. Just to shut you the fuck up.
Here you go. Yeah, they'll do. Well, how about give him 4 in a row, please? There you go. When we're done with him, you get him for another 40. How's that?
Done.
It'll be 106 when he gets out.
It seems like sometimes you should be able, if you cause enough fucking problems to gum up the courts, they should be able to throw the fucking book at you.
Especially when it's for this. When it's when it comes out you're guilty, it's like, okay, asshole, now.
You raped your daughter, motherfucker.
This is a different fucking story.
What are you doing?
This is a completely different story. What are you doing?
Why do you want us to look at this over and over?
Yeah, how do you keep... I would never want them to bring it up again.
I'd rather live in prison than go out on the streets after raping my own daughter.
Have it keep coming up. Gee, Christmas is going to be very uncomfortable.
Maybe I'll talk to another judge about this and have him read these fucking details. How could you have that thought?
That's wild, man. Let's talk about it more and in greater detail, as a matter of fact. Let's really...
parse this thing.
Yeah, let's really parse it out with a scalpel. So, July 21st, 2005... Apparently his nephew, Rich Nelloms, is a good player. Yeah. He stole home in a baseball game.
Oh, plays baseball.
And they said, quote, Rich can run like his uncle. And when he took off, don't compare. Never say like my uncle about me.
No.
Ever. Ever. Just don't ever bring it up.
And the fact that he ran too, like he's trying to run from these charges, like just no run puns, please.
No run puns. And when he took off on that big steal to win the game, we all held our collective breaths because he did it on his own. He's the most versatile kid on the team, and he has speed.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. So May 30th, 2006, his lawyer comes out and says the case is being investigated. He wants to back in court again.
Let's talk about it more.
Yeah. David Singleton, executive director of the Cincinnati-based Ohio Justice and Policy Center, has been working with Nelloms for more than a year. He says, this is Singleton, quote, we stand by Chris. We're attempting to investigate to see if there's any way to get back into court. Oh, boy. Wow. He said the sentence is not unheard of, but it is severe, the Singleton guy. He said, I believe he had a plea offer for much less time on the table. He said he had taken the plea. Had he taken the plea, he'd be getting out or be getting ready to get out soon. But he didn't take the plea. That's a gamble. If I bet on fucking red, I'd have twice as much money, but I didn't, so I don't. What the fuck are we talking about?
He gambled that 12 people were going to believe him over a child because he's arrogant.
Yes, and he's an athlete who's used to competing. So
yes,
he thought
he lost.
Yeah, he's like, I'll just try hardest and compete it out.
Sorry, man.
Wow, that is a crazy fucking thing to say. He's on like his 6th lawyer by now, by the way.
Yeah.
This is, They
People
said
give up on this kind of shit.
Because it's ridiculous. That's why.
Yeah.
Tired. And it sounds terrible. Do you want to be the guy just shouting from the rooftops about how much you like this child rapist constantly? I don't want that. No. Yeah, I did my job. I went to court. I was defended him like everyone has the right to have. And now, fuck him. I don't want to talk to him anymore. He's grossing me out.
I tried really hard. And look, man, there's nothing I can do.
Now I'm grossed out by you. Leave me alone.
What do you want from me?
That's it. So this guy went on to say, but he went to trial because he was maintaining he was innocent, and now he's in prison for a long time. Yeah, that's all of it.
Right.
That's everything.
Yeah.
So Chris is, and he has really unleashed some shit on the world.
Right, yeah.
Number one, his kid, obviously.
Right.
How about anyone who's ever been around him that's a kid? All of his girlfriend's kids. Imagine if you were his ex-girlfriend who had kids around him. You'd immediately go to your kids and go, did this guy ever take his dick out in front of you, ever?
Anything ever happen? Anything uncomfortable, tell me, please.
That would be horrible. I mean, I feel bad. I really feel bad for those kids and parents and everything like that. I feel really bad for all those people, Jimmy.
Yes.
But not nearly as bad as I feel.
God. What?
For Chris Nelloms, Associate Manager of HR Technology at Health Carousel in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, my God. If anybody ever Googles you in Ohio.
Poor bastard.
You poor fuck.
Please move far, far away for your own good. I swear. I know Ohio's been good to you and everything like that. Get the fuck out of there. It can only help your career. And Christopher Nelloms from San Antonio, Texas, a United States Air Force enlisted accessins recruiter. He's a recruiter for the Air Force. Chris Nelloms, test title at Test Company in Cincinnati metropolitan area.
Damn it.
These people, you got to move out of Ohio.
You gotta move to Mars.
Wow.
You gotta get out of here.
Holy shit. So also from May 30th, 2006, he says he's innocent, but he regrets not taking a plea deal. That's what he said. Yeah. Now, I guess this was in the newspaper, and a guy named Mark Stedgemoller works at the Warren Correctional Institute, helped arrange an interview with Chris Nelloms. He said Nelloms is on merit status for good behavior. Well, there's no kids around. Yeah, he's going to be fine. Yeah. He's fine unless there's kids around.
He's attracted to these people.
Is generally respected among inmates and is in the Gen Pop, which is unusual for inmates convicted of sex offenses against children. Are you
against
fucking
their own
kidding me?
Children.
I don't fucking yours, mine, his. It doesn't matter. A kid. We're all in here. You're the worst. I'm stabbing you in the face. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Especially if it's going to get me more credit in here. People leave me alone more.
Fuck, man. He's inmate A372261. He's been in there for 7 years so far. And, 2039, he's up for parole. So they had a 75-minute fucking interview with him. And they said, what's a typical day for you?
Oh, boy.
Answer?
Yeah.
After I read my Bible.
Yep.
He could not get 5 words into fucking speaking before he mentioned the word Bible. If I'm the Christian church at this point, I'm like, not you. Anybody but you. Any church. We're not accepting you. We don't need you. Fuck you.
And I get the forgiveness part
Fuck
is
that.
what the church is built on, but not this.
Not for this. No, not for this. No.
Not this.
Nope. You do anything to you kill an adult, I don't know what went on between you.
Let's talk about the circumstances.
It happens. I don't know what the fuck. It's bad, but this and that. This.
There's no excuse.
None at all. After I read my Bible, I get into my praise and worship.
More.
After that, it's always those guys in this fucking situation. After that, it's the count time, which is 10 o'clock. I'm on merit status, so we're first to call for chow. Then I go to work, which is at recreation. My rec starts at 12:30. We've got count again at 3. I go back to rec. I also go to church. 9 o'clock is when count is, but I normally get back about 8. I said, when do you fall asleep? Once the doors lock, my cellmates go to sleep, and I get into my Bible a little bit more, and I pray.
Oh, my God.
There's a time when I lay there, and I think of what I could have been, and I think of what I was. But the majority of the time, you make the best of the environment that you're in, and you use the strength that God has given you to make it through. He said, is there ever a time when you wake up and you don't believe that you're in here? And he says, I'm not... ... I don't believe that I'm doing the 40 years to life. I don't believe God saved me from being shot in 92, 5 minutes from being dead, to do the rest of my life in prison. I'm here for preparation. You asked, no, you're being punished for being a cunt is what you're being. Yeah.
You're being punished for being a rapist. And you probably, that day, were being punished for being a rapist, too.
Wow, that is awful. I'm taking that preparation the best way I can to prepare myself for the streets.
He thinks he's getting out. He really does.
Oh, yeah. I may not be free physically, but I'm free emotionally and mentally. My body's incarcerated behind walls, but I'm free within myself. Oh, God, I'd love to kick you right in the fucking taint right now. I'd like to kick you in the taint so hard you fucking feel my foot in your throat. You asshole. Ugh, I hate a motherfucker. Obviously, a hot take. I hate child rapists. Real hot take.
Yeah, it's a crazy one.
It's a crazy one. But I really hate when somebody then hides behind the fucking Bible and all that shit. I will beat you to death with your Bible. And that'd be hard because they're floppy, most of them. I will still figure out a fucking way to do it. That's how many times I'll hit you with it.
I think it's even more so infuriating that all he does is work out, eat, and read the Bible. Like that is, all he's doing is preparing to get out and still be in physical shape to fuck children.
To fuck children and have excuses for it and say that what a great Christian he is and all this other shit, whatever.
That's what it feels like. I mean, I could be wrong.
Nope. I think you nailed it. And you also kind of know this type of personality.
Yeah, that kind of person. And it lends
had a little experience
to,
there. So
it lends to the retribution part there. It's so fucking obvious that that's what somebody was trying to do. It's got to be.
It has to be. It has to be, man. It fucking has to be.
He's a monster and he's been one for way too long. How do you not learn, P.S., that when you're shot in the fucking back, how do you not go, maybe I shouldn't be such a piece of shit?
That'd be great. Yeah. Nope.
Maybe I should be on the fucking straight and narrow.
He took that as poor guy. Everybody in town said, oh my God, this poor guy. We're just hoping he gets back, and Ohio State loves him. And they said, does it seem like you've served 7+ years? He said, to be honest, it just seems like yesterday. At the only point where it seems like I've done 7.5 years almost is when my daughter comes to visit, not that daughter.
Yeah.
I remember when she was an infant. Now she's 7 years old. So you had one right when he went in. That's the only time when time really catches up with me, because you see it from year to year. You realize that you're missing out on a lot of things. They said, what other communication do you have with family and friends? And he said, that's a hard one. Other than my agent and my mother.
Everybody else hates me.
Yep. And ex-Dunbar track coach Randy Wagoner and Mrs. Lyons, one of his youth track coaches, and my father, all my friends, I haven't heard anything. I get some letters from some fans or people I haven't seen in 10, 15 years. They may send me an encouraging letter or note. We should send them non-encouraging letter or notes. It's really long. Time is even longer. It's going to keep fucking dragging. Discouraging notes.
Here's a challenge. Try to swallow a piece of bread without chewing it.
That'd be great. While you're at it, swallow about 700 sleeping pills right after it. And then you're onto something. Okay? Because
Oh my God,
I wouldn't mind force feeding you that. They said, what's the worst thing about being in prison? He said, before I came to prison, I was in a county jail, and a gentleman said, you need to watch your back. He tried to explain some of the things that carry on in prison. But today's prison is not like yesterday's prison used to be. If you notice, they call it an institution. It's not a penitentiary anymore. I try to limit myself away from a lot of things. I try to present myself every day the way I would want to be respected and represented in the inmates' eyes. They said, do you have track competitions here?
Wait, hold on. Go back. Ask him what the fuck he's talking about. You want to be respected by fucking murderers, thieves, and bank robbers and drug dealers? And
he's really looking to be respected in there. He better be if he's going to be in there for 40 years.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to get fucking shanked.
That's what I mean. So do you have track competitions in here? Oh,
yeah.
We have a 4th of July event. We have the mile, the 3 mile, the 4x1, the 4x2, the 50, and the 100. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to run anymore. They said, why? And he says, because every time I sign up, don't nobody sign up to run against me. The people who had it, they felt it would be best if I didn't do it so everybody else can enjoy themselves and do it.
Oh,
there's
so
no other there's no other world-class sprinters in there. They're going to, They said, do most inmates know who you are in your past? He said, some didn't. It came about once the track and field actually took place. Even though I'm 34 years old, I feel like when I came to prison, I was a child coming out of the womb into a new world. This guy is some shit.
James, he still sees himself as a child.
That's most of those guys do.
Yes.
That's the thing.
He
Pedophiles
just
always
told
see
us.
That. Yes.
He just goddamn told us.
I was a child coming out of the womb into a new world. As childish or stupid as it may sound, another time he uses childish. Yeah. I didn't know that this was actually the way it was. I learned a lot. What do you miss most? I miss my children.
No! don't say that. Jesus Christ, man. You said the worst possible thing.
I miss my family the most. Regardless of what the courts, what the judge, and what the jury, what the community, what people, what everyone on fucking earth is what he just said. Regardless of anybody who's not a piece of shit, whatever they say, I am a family-type person.
Ew.
That's one way to put it. I love my kids.
Stop saying it.
It gets worse. I took responsibility for my 2 children. I hate that I missed an opportunity to be with my children. I hate that my career was taken away from me in my prime. I hate that my career was taken away from me in my prime.
I'm a victim.
I was 27 years old. Sprinters can make it until they're about 36. It's over after that. Are you still adamant in your innocence? Oh, very, 100%. That's the only thing that keeps me alive, my innocence. It's hard to know that you're incarcerated for something that you didn't do, but it's also hard to know, wow, they offered me 3 years for a plea, knowing that I was facing 100 years.
He's the arrogance on this motherfucker.
Yep. And I said to myself, why didn't you take the 3-year plea and maybe you could have been home? Like I told my mother and I told my attorney and I told the judge, and I still stand on it. I did not commit this crime. I'm going to fight it till the last nail is driven in. What do you want people to know about you or think when they hear your name? Not what we think, probably.
No.
He said, as far as track goes, I don't even think that's going to go away. Incarceration, anything I could ever have done in life could never change that. That's something God gave me. He gave me a gift. I didn't abuse it, meaning his athletic gifts. So when it comes down to the track and field part, I think that's something that will always be spoken about, and I'm grateful about that. Do you hear from college friends? No, I don't really hear from them much. Gee, I wonder why.
They don't want to be involved.
Yeah, being incarcerated, I guess, that is what comes with it. Well, I don't know, when Tupac was in prison, all sorts of people came to visit him.
Oh, my God. They helped get him out, for God's sake.
And he was in for a similar thing, but not of a minor. That's the difference.
There you go.
And we don't know how true that was either, but still, this I'm pretty sure of. So they said that I don't know, I don't really hear from them. He said, you lose your family, you lose friends, death comes upon you, people pass away, so you lose a lot of things. Oh, my God. His name is on the track circuit again, 2006 here. They're talking about, I guess he's got a, somebody is like tying his record. So his name keeps coming up. Yeah. Since then type of shit here. So, he's, wow. When they asked if he had any advice for this kid, this is what Nelloms said. You want advice from a pedophile? Sounds great.
Yeah, right. What's he going to say? Stay away from kids.
Yeah, don't go near kids. I guess the way that I am right now, my advice to him couldn't deal with anything in track and field. The advice that was given to me by my elders, it seems like, it still, for some reason, backfired on me. I considered myself trying to do everything that I was supposed to do, go to school, stay away from the streets, but here I am sitting in prison for all this time. Yeah, because I'd rather have you be a drug dealer than fuck your kid.
Right, because if you had gone to the streets, maybe you would have been out of the house and away from your own daughter.
Yeah, you wouldn't have fucked your daughter probably, which right. I don't care, yeah. So August 13th, 2006, the daughter speaks now, finally.
Oh, my God, this poor
now
thing. She is
adult.
Now 30 years old.
This was in 2006, so she was, I think she's like 20 at this point.
Yeah.
This is from an article, and the headline is, Nelloms' daughter shares her story of pain, anger, and hope. She tries not to let her past dictate her present or future, but there's no question Taria Pitts' life has been profoundly affected by the events when she was 8 to 11 years old. She wants her name out there. She wants this out there. This isn't like nobody's outing her. This is like, other people can hear this and feel whatever. So she said that that's when her father, Chris Nelloms, raped her many times, the jury determined. Ever since she came forward and after the 1999 trial, family strife, friends' questions, and her own dreams have affected her education, family, trust, and relationships. Yeah, you need a lot of help.
It fucking... Yep. I can't tell you how much it shapes who you are. It's so damaging.
Yeah, let's find out. Once an honor student, Pitts dropped out of high school at age 15 when she became pregnant. Yep. That's, yep. At 19, she has 2 children that she adores.
Oh, my God.
Paul, who's nearing his 4th birthday, and 6-month-old Trinity. While she's studying for her GED, Teria works as a housekeeper at an area hotel. He destroyed this poor girl. God damn it. If she gets her GED, she plans to enroll at Sinclair Community College this fall and study mental health services. That's good
amazing.
For her. Her mother helps when possible, but with 2 young children, there isn't much time for a social life. Pitts' usual activities are talking with friends outside of her Trotwood apartment, going to a park, or going to a drive-in movie. She said, I'm either at work, at home, or spending time with my kids. She's still with the father of her daughter. She said she's struggled in relationships with men, though. She's with the father of her youngest daughter. She said on occasion she plays What If. She said, I do think about it. Yeah, what if this never happened to me? Yeah. I do think about it. I believe that if things didn't happen that happened, I wouldn't have no kids. I would have finished school. I would be able. I don't like to be around a lot of people. Yeah, she wouldn't have she's got problems from this. Yeah. Obviously. I probably would have had a house, or probably would have been in college, and all this wouldn't have if all this wouldn't have happened. It still can be accomplished, but now it's going to take me time. Yeah.
Yeah, she's had 2 children so young. Oh, Jesus Christ. She's had 2 children so young, and now she's in this cyclical environment of trying to just keep the bills paid. It's so hard to get ahead.
Doing that from 15 on?
So hard.
15. That's when that starts? Jesus Christ. That is like fucking... Yeah, that's like working in a coal mine when you're fucking 12, and they're like, well, when you're 70, you can retire. Like, that's a lifetime of this shit. So they said, what are your thoughts on the whole ordeal? And she said she doesn't know. They said that doesn't know what he has done to me mentally, or my dad Nelloms doesn't know what he's done to me mentally and emotionally. I still have dreams of him doing the things he's done to me, and it hurts me emotionally because it was my dad.
Yeah.
My kids don't know their grandfather. They're not able to see him, and he's not able to see me. I don't want him around my kids. I don't want him out of jail at all. What would he do? Fuck kids is what he would do.
Yeah,
Show his dick to more kids.
Yep.
Never going to stop doing that.
Never.
They said, do all your friends know Chris Nelloms is your father? And he says, not. She said, not everybody knows. None of my friends really know what happened unless I actually have one of those days where I'd break down and be crying. I said, what have your interactions with men been like? She said, I'm going from this person, from that person to another person to try to find love for real, where people can accept what happened and feel and deal with what I go through sometimes. I do have my times where I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be touched. Leave me alone. All I really want is for somebody to love me and not use me and abuse me because my dad has done it enough. Jesus. What are things like with his side of the family? It eats me up that my grandmother has nothing to do with me every time I see her. It's either she's calling me a bitch, or she's rolling her eyes at me, or she has something snotty to say about me.
Gloria, how dare you?
Crackhead fucking twat bitch.
Honestly.
Fuck you,
crackhead.
Gloria. You crackhead twat. You former crackhead. Let's not slander.
I'm so glad that she is such a bitch because it just stopped me from crying. I've been crying my fucking eyes out.
Yeah, this is horrible.
This is so
I know this
hurtful. I
touches
feel
a nerve.
so bad for her.
Yeah.
I feel for her horribly. And I understand the cycle and how fucking hard it is to get ahead and try to find that one gap that's bridged that gets you to a successful lifestyle of like just that one job that pays really well, or that you can fucking plan out 5 to 10 years out. And
something to lean on.
And sometimes for a lot of victims like this, that shit never comes, man.
You're looking for something that's not quicksand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's like, fuck,
Poor
man.
thing.
And I really feel like I'm your grandchild, and no matter what me and my dad went through, or however the situation went down, you should never turn your back on me. That kind of hurt me. They said, do you speak to women who have gone through rape? And she said, yes, I do. Sometimes they come to me and they talk to me about it. I can tell them what's wrong before they tell me what's wrong with themselves. Obviously.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah.
She said, I can actually understand what they're going through. I know what it's doing to mind, body, and soul. I do kind of help them and give them the best advice I can. They said, as a minor and a relative, your name was withheld from all the daily Dayton Daily News articles. Are you willing to announce you were his victim? And she said, yes, I'm willing to say that it's me. I figure maybe then he'll finally be like, okay, I give up. Yes, I'm guilty of the crime. She's trying to force him into it, shame him into it. They said, if he did, then what? She said, I've already forgiven my dad because I can't hold around hate in my heart for a long time. I wanted to go public and let everything that went on between me and my dad, if he was to come out and be truthful and honest about it, I might actually try to go talk to him and see him and tell him thank you for admitting it.
She's way stronger than I am because I can't
incredible.
Fucking hate him more.
No, that's incredible. And they said these stories, I guess they said May 30th, a group of articles about Chris Nelloms in the Daily Dayton News sparked a lot of feedback. Many of Dayton's black community still seem split when it comes to Nelloms and his daughter. What are you split on now at this point?
She's an adult and she's maintaining every word of this. You can't
living
fucking
her whole
say
life.
she's a lie. Right.
You can, if you saw her life and talked to her, you could go, who touched
That's
you
a
when?
victim. Yeah,
You'd know what something happened to her, and it's this. So they said some calls came from church leaders, others wanting to help Nelloms. Some wanted to know why he received what they thought was a long sentence of 40 years to life. Others were enraged about Nelloms' alleged or documented misdeeds and wondered why the newspaper would write about a convicted felon. They said the daughter has a different reaction. She said, everybody has heard his side of the story. No one's ever heard my side of the story at all. Not everyone knows that I'm his daughter. I want people to see a different perspective, and maybe some people will quit pointing a finger at me. There was evidence. I just want people to know that I'm not a liar. I'm being honest about everything that I say, everything I have said. But this man actually believes in his mind that he has not done this. But it's the truth. You have to be sick in your own mind to touch your own child.
Not just that. She's absolutely right, 100%. But the worst part is that he thought he was going to beat it, so he refused to take a plea of only 3 years. That is the most light plea in terms of raping your own fucking child.
Fucking 8 times for
saying
years.
I raped my daughter 8 times and then only getting 3. That's fucking obscene. But then if they give him, when he goes to court and fights it, and they're like, then look, motherfucker, you did all this.
Yeah.
We're giving you what's legal and a heavy penalty. Sorry that the law is heavy for this. You chose to fight this, right?
Yeah.
You don't want
That's
to admit
what
it.
is. No, you gambled. You rolled the fucking dice.
And you lost.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking hard, but you
pulled
lost.
the slot machine, you won $100 and you said, I'm going to fucking double down. Fuck that. And then it's all gone now. Eat dicks. Fuck you. So that's what happens. She said that, Taria said, I was reading this article about her father, and she said, I kept thinking, why does he keep sending me through this? Why does he keep opening up wounds when he knows it's true? What he fails to realize is that he's ruined my life. Yeah. She said, I wanted to let the public know that Chris Nelloms is not innocent. He's so great in track and field, but he's not great in other things he's done. He's not been incarcerated for something he didn't do. He's being incarcerated for something he did do. I'm not a liar. I'm being honest about everything I say, everything I have said. Wow. So he will be in prison for a long time. I'm glad that his daughter at least can talk about it now, and maybe that'll help her. I don't know. We wish her the best.
15
That's
years, right?
fucking horrible. Yeah, she's got a while to go here still. She's got another 20 to go.
Yeah.
Right. Almost 20.
Yeah.
36
or 38?
17. He's 36. Well, if he went in 99, if he was sentenced in 99, that's 24. So he's got 16 years of till he can get a parole date. And that, who the hell knows when they're going to parole him after this. If I was her, I'd come to every single fucking parole hearing and go, he still won't admit it. Fuck him.
Don't let him out until he says yes.
That's right. Now, Chris Nelloms' net worth, this is a great, one of these AI written sites, and it said, this is amazing. His net worth has been growing significantly in 2022, 2023. Really? 24 years in prison. He's really stacking bills, huh? So how much is Chris Nelloms worth at age of 52 years old? Chris Nelloms' income source is mostly from being a successful sprinter, and that's with a capital, like he worked for Sprint.
Like he's a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Yeah. He is from American. That's what it said.
He doesn't have 2 Bibles.
He is from American. Nope. And it says his net worth is between $1 and $5 million, which he never made in his life for anything.
He's somewhere between $1 and $5.
So can't get enough of Chris Nelloms. I don't know. If you're in an Ohio State prison, call him a pedophile and tell him he sucks. Write him a nice letter telling him what a piece of shit he is and he should be fucking ashamed of himself and admit your goddamn crimes so your fucking daughter can move on psychologically from this fucking mess.
Write him some discouraging information.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking seldom is heard a discouraging word. Fucking you make it so all he hears is discouraging words. Fuck this guy. That's Chris Nelloms, and that's a real asshole, everybody.
Man.
A scumbag of the year candidate for sure.
Absolutely.
He won't even admit it later. Fuck you scumbag.
It's been a long time since a story has gotten a visceral, emotional reaction, and that is so
Disturbing.
heavy. So heavy.
It's a lot.
Incredibly heavy.
It's
And
a fucking
I
lot,
feel
man.
for her so much. Jesus.
Yeah, that's awful shit. So anyway, if you like the story, let the world know. Tell everyone that we at least put on a good show anyway. don't tell them Chris Nelloms is a good guy, but tell them we're good guys.
I'm going to be honest. Even though it's a bad story and a bad ending, that's a better movie than The Hurricane.
Oh, I would fucking say, yeah. Well, if at the end of it was like him being stabbed and fucking dying on a gym floor like Dahmer, that would be
used him for a sparring partner and exploded his head in a rusty basement.
I just pictured him 150 pounds with fucking Reuben Carter just fucking pummeling him with hooks. I would love to see that. Oh, man, I would pay to watch that.
I'd love it.
Just not even with gloves on, just pummeling him.
Just internal bleeding.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love that shit. So, oh my God, tell everyone you know about it. Tell the crime and sports movement. Get it going and tell everybody you like the show. Tell them we're still around and God damn it, we're better than fucking ever.
Oh, yeah.
So do that shit, please. Also, shutupandgivememurder.com. All the merch. Skateboards to shower curtains. Can't beat it. We got it all. Come on there. Also, tickets for Small Town Murders 2024 tour coming up very soon.
Oh, yeah.
So get those. We're doing them this week, so they'll be out. So definitely check those out at shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material. Yeah. Oh, we got so much good stuff. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get a couple hundred back episodes to binge on right away. Then you get 2 new ones every other week. 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder, and you get it all. This week, all of it. This week, what we're going to talk about for Crime and Sports, we're doing theme park disasters again. Oh, I love those. We have a whole slate of those. We have those lined up to do like every few months for years. Those are so great.
You've ridden a ride that has bodies on it.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to do that. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the Twin Flames mess.
Yeah.
This alleged cult or love service or wow. It is crazy shit that's going on over there. They turned it into an actual religion so they don't pay taxes now. It's fucking bonkers.
People being taken advantage of.
Patreon.com/crime and sports. You definitely want to hear those. They're crazy and so much more and new stuff all the time. And including that, you're also going to get a shout out, which is going to happen in just a moment. Follow us on social media as well. We are at Crime and Sports on Facebook and Twitter, and we are at Small Town Murder on Instagram. So check that out. Hang out with us there. Do all of that. Keep coming back, and I want to hear, damn it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Tell me the names of the most wonderful fucking people in the world who keep our lights on and keep our shit flowing and our wheels turning on these recorders. Let's do it, Jimmy. Hit me with the name of these wonderful people right goddamn now.
This week's executive producer is Sarah Hanzelik, Jake Owlette, I don't know, Brielle, Chris, Beth, and Repeat. Thank you so much, you guys. Brandon Stubbs, Christina Rausch's friend Winter. Merry Christmas, Winter. That's nice.
Merry Christmas, Winter.
Your name is Winter, and you love Christmas. That's yes.
Off the subject of winter, go to Cosmic Donuts outside of Dallas as well. We met very nice people who work there.
Was it Lake Worth?
I think that's what they said. Very nice couple that runs it. They're cool people. They came to our show, and they're good people. So Cosmic Donuts in Texas. Get those.
Cosmic Donuts, they're up at fucking 2 a.m. to make your morning nice.
They had to take a long nap.
They sacrificed their lives to make donuts.
They have to go to bed at like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It's light out when they're in bed half the time.
They were out at 5 p.m. in Dallas going, what do we do with ourselves? This is crazy.
They did not know what happened. Imagine going to bed when it was light, or going to bed when it's light, waking up when it's dark. That's not natural.
It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other great executive producers, Kyle Norwig, Amanda Jacob, and Jordan Bennett and Simon, they made it down there to Texas as well.
Guys.
Thank you, guys. And
all the way from Canada.
Desiree and John in Texas came out and helped me entertain my daughter by showing her around Texas, which was pretty fucking rad, too. Thank you. Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, the Hanson brother who clubbed the entire opposing bench, the townsfolk of Cockerton, England, Narrowly Hernandez, Janice Hill, Tiffany Whitley, maybe Whiteley, it looks like Whitley, Hardy Smallwood, Jules Harris in Indianapolis, that's where Jules is, Trinidad Bernardino. Happy birthday, and keep on growing, man. He grows weed up there in Northern California. Good
Fuck
dude.
Yeah, I like that.
Jackie Kruger, Michelle and Alan, Leo with no last name, Derek Struwing, Jeremiah Pence, Jackie Holmes, Shay Clark, Nancy Reeves, Catherine Burnett, Molly Nearing, Mike McCombs, Ocean Shooten, Wachow, Sandon Dribney, Melissa Skolnick, Jessica McMickley. Just Mickley, not McMickley. Jason Lowry, Mercer Klein, Barbie with no last name, Thomas Mills, James Blackmer, Strange Nobody, Paula Passafaro, Tina Smith, Christina M., Kate Rogers, Slim, just Sim with no last name, Jeff Olson, Nolan Allen, Glenn Gabriel, Zulma, Enid Ayala, Jessica Woolley, Angelo Yap, maybe, Joey Wingert, Brendan Stratton, Francis Creek, HHB, Stephanie Ostrand, Samantha Whitcomb, Bradley Spracklin, Laura Stanley, Crystal McIntosh, Bernard Carr, Margot Taylor, Travis Bagley, Kevin Spikowski, oh boy, Gibran Vigil, Jai Bran, Hump with no last name, Betty TF, Sarah Dean, Deidre Hall, Erlonda Charizar. She's a Charizar. Jamie Selman, Hector with no last name, Ailey Dickinson, Joanne Harrison, Allison Cologne, Marty Rowell, Paula Tronganini, Trigoni, James Myers, Tanya Fuhr, Shelley Hawkins, Born Loser, 420. All right. Brian Stone, Jen Chess, yes. Maggie Hugh, Mr. Williams 86, Lauren with no last name, Aaron Hart, Jake with no last name, Mary Darga, Joshua Dolph, Lavender Queen, Cammie Moore, Julia Engel, Toby Gagnon. Gagnon? It's Gagnon, right?
Gagnon, I think. We've gone over this. Is it Gagnon? No, I hope not.
It's not Gagnon.
No, we thought that we went through that as an option once before when we saw that name.
All right. Katie Pacheco, Terry Martin Jr., Clayton Kruk, Natalie Brown, Terrence Brandt, Jonathan Hilton, Anastasia Sabula Chu, Ken Brayshaw, Sarah with no last name, Julia Harkath, TJ 39, Luis J. Avery Jordan, Aquila Brown, A Large Gorilla, Ginsu Lavoy, Christine Ryan, Jennifer Murray Jordan, Mario Garza, Kat McKeithen, Joel Frost, Jody Alice Spancel, Laura with no last name, Laura Mack, also probably one person, two cup patrons. I don't know.
One person, two patron cups.
James Sillette, Darda McConnell, James with no last name, Tom Schneider, Anna R. Riley Vassarella, Troy Rifle, Danica Springs, Jessica with no last name, Vincent Gree, JC, Ben Walker, Grace Norton, Jessica with no last name, Lena Wells, Megan with no last name, Sean Foley, Zwan Tran, Allison Lawners, Erica Paxton, Jessica Martinez, Zoria with no last name, Kayla Moore, Gail Administer, Deidre O'Leary, Sarah Martinez, Colton Halleck, Abe with no last name, Cody Powlin, Jennifer Peterson, Dale Gribble, that's Jarek Desrosiers, Whitney with no last name, Matt Jones, Dave Fitz, Wilted with no last name, Tara with no last name, Daniel with no last name, Sile Kramer, Nolan Kreft, Lennon Cole, Druid Shadowbox, and Showany, Jason Zeller, Ali maybe, Sue Stall, maybe it's Ali, I don't know, Madeline Martucci, Rende N. Bechtel, Lindsay T, Laura Fuller Cooper, Mary Serrano, Rochelle, it might be Marie. We don't know. Rochelle Bueller, Ryan Seals.
Marie.
There's a bunch of Marie. Penelope Ronchaushin, Jay Harris, and all of our patrons. You guys know who you are, and you're fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You wonderful, wonderful bastards. We hope you love the content, and we'll keep putting it out. And thank you for all that you do for us. If you want to find us on social media, you can head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. The links are right there. If you want to find us personally and hang out with us, please do that. You're more than welcome. And keep coming back, because live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye!
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.